Happy Friday, Washington Commanders Nation. We just selected our week 5 captains for the week. We have a surprise player that will be inactive on Sunday. Let's talk about the injury report and Washington's week 5 captains. This is Rambling About Washington. Top of the afternoon. We are now 2 days before Washington's second home game of the season versus the Cleveland Browns. We just selected our captains for this week. Your offensive captain will be quarterback Jayden Daniels for the first time this year. Talk about making a guy work for it. The top-selling jersey in the league, absolute superstar of the first month of the season. Jayden Daniels finally gets to be a team captain for the first time this season. On the defensive side of the ball, our priority free agent signing, a guy who had 2 sacks last week. They took a half sack from him, but I'm going to give him the credit on both sacks. Dorrance Armstrong is going to be a captain for the first time this year, and Jeremy Chinn is going to be your third captain. Boy, has he improved over the last 2 weeks. First 2 weeks of the season, guys were ready to go to Tyler Owens and see what we got on the practice squad at this point. Jeremy Chinn has been absolutely smacking shit and improved over the last 2 weeks. Those are your captains for week 5, Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chinn. But to the crux of the most important things to talk about this week, wide receiver Noah Brown will be out with a groin injury this week. If you follow the career of Noah Brown so far, Dallas, Houston, etc., he lives on the injury report. That is one of the knocks on this guy. It's why you see production up to a certain point and you say, oh my God, he had this amount of yards in this many games. Why isn't he producing more? But he actually puts up numbers everywhere he goes, because everywhere he goes, injuries follow him. And while he's been a solid contributor and a very key component to Washington's passing game so far, it's to be expected that he's going to miss a few games with injury, because that follows him everywhere he goes. This is not a surprise to me or anyone that's paid attention to the career of Noah Brown so far. But Brian Robinson is trending in the right direction and will be a game-time decision per Coach Dan Quinn. Austin Ekeler has been cleared from the concussion protocol and good to go for Sunday. So we're either going to have both of our starting backs on Sunday, or we may be without B-Rob. Based on what I heard from B-Rob on the radio yesterday, it sounds like he's going to be good to go. Let's go. Let's get it in. What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing this afternoon? Shout out from LA. We owe Cleveland an L for that dumbass game a couple years ago. It's Noah. It hurts, but it's time for somebody else to step up. The one thing that has been a fluid situation for the Commanders this year, we've had a different leading receiver every week of the season. Luke McCaffrey in week 1, Noah Brown in week 2, Terry McLaurin in week 3, and Olamide Zaccheaus week 4. So I imagine the starting lineup's going to look like Terry on one side, Luke McCaffrey on one side, Olamide Zaccheaus on the other. That, or you can switch those two around with Dyami Brown getting some more action. It feels like it's about that time Dyami Brown gets going, right? We get the one Dyami Brown game every year. Why not this Sunday versus the Cleveland Browns? Back at home in the burgundy jerseys, similar to what he did versus the Tennessee Titans 2 years ago. It's time. We saw the offseason hype video. We heard about Dyami turning a corner. Let's see it this Sunday. Noah Brown's out, but we should not be out here like, oh my God, what are we going to do? Because wide receiver is so fluid for this team. Is this the Luke McCaffrey breakout game fans have been waiting for? Is it time for Luke? Is it time for Luke? Yeah, get in the end zone this weekend, Luke. You've been very close so far. What about going after Reddick? It sounds good, but I think if we wanted to go after Reddick, we might have went after him by now. What's going on, man? What up, Ben? How's it rocking? I'm hyped, man. I'm feeling good on a Friday afternoon. What would you consider this a successful season if we end up, would I consider it if we end up with 8 or 9 wins? Absolutely. I'd consider this a successful season if we won 7 games and Jayden continues to look like him and we turn stride. We won 4 games last year. Despite this hot start we're on, my prediction for this team was to win 8 games this year, 8 and 9. Anything, if you double up your win total from last year and go from 4 to 8, that's a very successful season in the first year of a startup program. And I still remain, even with the 3-1 start. Yo, Rio, fuck Cleveland. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're playing bad football. Everybody's talking about we're set up for the trap game in this one. We're like the highest betted on team this week. We're one of the higher favorites of the week. That don't scare me. This is our new existence, man. Luke breakout game. I want to see it. Gonna miss that big body for sure. Gonna miss that. That sound crazy saying it out loud. Gonna miss that big body, but I know exactly what you mean. We definitely gonna miss that size on the opposite Terry. That's why I'm not mad if we go after another receiver. Washington definitely losing this game. Yeah, I don't know about all that, man. If you're shaking in your boots over the Cleveland Browns, I don't know what to tell you. We could very well lose this game because I think this team has a better roster than us, but fuck a Cleveland Brown. You're not going to see me out here on a Friday afternoon afraid of the Cleveland Brown. Diami breakout game with Noah out. Yeah, let's throw a little more than screen passes to Diami Brown this week, even though he's probably the best screen pass runner on the roster. Let's air that bitch out deep to Diami Brown this week because he's good for one game every season. Y'all heard the guy. Smash that like button. We got 141 in the chat right now. Subscribe to the channel. We getting active. We are on a Friday afternoon. It's about 1 p.m. or close to it. Washington's injury report is out. According to Nikki Jabwala as well. According to Nikki, let me see. For the 3 players on IR whose practice windows were opened up this week, Jordan McGee, Marcus Mariota, and F.A. Obata, the team will decide over the weekend if they want to activate them for this week or not. They have 21 days to activate them or they will lose them on the season to IR. So there's that as well. They were full participants in practice all week. That does not necessarily mean that they're good to go, but very good and positive signs for guys. I want to see Jordan McGee. I want to see Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu be able to take a break and a breather on the sideline. Luke been open since day one. It's his week. It's time. It's time. One of the more open receivers in this league. Feed the beast. Feed the rookie. We've seen a different leading receiver every week of the season in catches and yards. So will that continue in week 5 for Washington? Because week 1, even though Luke led us in receiving, no one really led us in receiving because we didn't really find any effectiveness through the passing game in week 1 of the season. Chatter Limerick says, hot take, we hold Myles Garrett to no sacks. Whoa, this offensive line is efficiently cooking with hot grease if they can keep Myles Garrett away from our quarterback on Sunday. Let's not take this week light. As fast as we got to 3-1, we got 2 tough ones coming up and can be 3-3. Let's make Diddy Watson get sent to the bench. And yes, everybody should be taking this game seriously. Should we be afraid of the Cleveland Browns? Fuck no. But should we look past them? Absolutely not as well. We can't do what the Cardinals did to us last week and look at the Browns like they're food, like they're barbecue chicken, like they're that Shannon Sharp video. Oh, I got some oxtails over here. I got some collard greens. I got some fried chicken. I got some barbecue chicken on this side. I got some candy yams. Like, they're not food, but they can be. They're not food, but they can be. We have a chance to put a season in the ground. We have a chance to throw the dirt over the coffin of a team with playoff hopes for 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row. We have a team to put them in the ground, and we have a chance to make up for a couple years ago when they ended our season. We're here for resetting karmas, for paying back teams for what we owe them. They ended our season a couple years ago. Why don't we put an end to theirs? Because 1-4 with Deshaun Diddy Watson quarterback in your team, if that ain't an end of a season, I don't know what to tell you it looks like. First home game was versus the Giants. Yep, this is our first time showing our home crowd the new and improved polished offense. We saw a little bit. We saw glimpses versus the New York Giants in week 2, but every time we got near pay dirt, we punched ourselves in the face and got penalties, sacks, and we took ourselves out of scoring position, but we scored on every drive of that game. We did all of our damage offensively on the road the last 2 weeks. Road dogs. Road underdog mentality. We went up to Cincinnati against the world, handled business. Stayed in Arizona for the entire week, handled business. Whooped ass and dragged nutsack across State Farm Stadium for the majority of 60 minutes of that ball game. So let's show the home fans what it looks like. Shout out to Jayden Daniels, our quarterback, man. It feels good to have a guy that the world is unanimously at a consensus that he's a star, that he's one of those ones. He has the highest selling jersey in the league over a month of football. They just released his black jerseys for the first time yesterday at the team stadium. Shout out to my boy Jalen Morgan, Stunner Showtime, or Bleeding BNG as y'all would know him. My boy went and copped him that Jayden jersey off the early because his lucky ass lives like 7 minutes from the stadium. The stadium team store is the only place you can find the black Jayden jerseys. I imagine they will be online sometime soon, but that shit looks sweet as hell. They got the replicas and the Swingman Jones. I think the Swingmans are called Limited or Vapors or whatever. Nike switches up the titling and terminology of their jerseys each year, so I'm not exactly sure what they call them at this exact moment, but we got one of those ones beyond the center. And just because of that, though, we can't take this game lightly. We're talking about a team that Brian Robinson is number 2 in the league at yards after contact running the football. Austin Ekeler is also a problem after contact. He usually doesn't go down for arm tackles and first contact. We're talking about a team that has given up the second most yards after contact in the league in the Cleveland Browns. As good as that defense is, you can run on them. You can run on this team. You can run on them. Their strength of their defensive front is on the edge with Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett. They are all right in the middle, but they ain't nothing special. They ain't got Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen in that middle. If this is not the week we get to a quarterback consistently, I don't know if that week exists. We were able to find a way to get to Kyler Murray last week playing a weakened and damp and battered offensive line in Arizona. This Cleveland line has Deshaun Watson as the most hit quarterback in the league. He's been under the most pressure through the first 4 weeks of the league, and we got to get to him. Point blank, period. Dorrance Armstrong, don't be happy because you had a good game in Arizona. Build on it. Do it on a consistent basis. I'm not telling you got to be Aiden Hutchinson or Myles Garrett, but I'm telling you we're paying you $15 million a year off the edge, and you are our primary pass rusher. Dante Fowler Jr., let's get on the board. I think you have the best pass rush plan on the roster right now. It always looks like you know where you're going, and you're always close but no cigar. Let's get to Deshaun Watson. Fuck Jedrick Wills. Fuck that offensive line. They got names, and they're getting their ass beat. You heard Chef Zay come on this channel and talk about how that line looks depleted and has regressed under Andy Dickerson after letting Bill Callahan walk out that door. All of y'all know exactly how good of a coach Bill Callahan was because we've seen it firsthand here in Washington. Yep, our captains, just in case you're just coming in late, our captains for the week. Jayden Daniels, of course, Dorrance Armstrong, and safety Jeremy Chin. Noah Brown, out. Clelin Ferrell, once again, out. How long is this going to linger? They're saying he's getting closer to returning, but that knee injury was a little bit more than they leaned on or anticipated earlier in the season. He's going to miss, his third game in a row, Clelin Ferrell? Yeah, after playing the first 2 weeks of the season, he's been out for weeks 3, 4, and 5. Brian Robinson's a game-time decision. He sounds like he's going to be a go. Dan Quinn sounds positive on that, and Austin Ekeler is going to return this week. Not to mention, Cleveland has some injuries of their own. The whole injury report is a CVS receipt this week. There's a lot of names on that shit, but a lot of these guys are just there for precautionary reasons. According to JP Finley and Andrew Siciliano, they do not expect Nick Chubb to play this week, probably next week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't have a read yet on tight end David Njoku playing this week, but that offense is way better with him on the field. Jerry Jeudy has been great so far. The injuries in the O-line has been a mess for Cleveland, and that is exactly what I want to hear. Noah Brown's out, RIP. RIP is a little exaggeratory or hyperbolic, given that Noah Brown is an all right number 2 receiver. We don't need John McQueen, Devontae Adams. He is not like Terry. I know he's not like Terry. He's elite. I want talent. I don't care about all that extra shit. I know how football locker room works. Nobody cares if the receiver's nice, bro. I'm not saying no to talent just because they're a diva. Any update on the new stadium? Nope. We probably won't get a new update for that for quite some time because we have to let the government do their thing. And we won't find out about that probably till around election time in November. Now officially Shannon Sharp's second most popular video, the food video, because everybody uses that. Do you think Watson has something to prove since Daniels has been playing so well? Daniels. Oh, Jayden. I mean, I think Watson has something to prove because he got one of the first fully guaranteed deals, and he's been hot ass. He's been hot ass. Also, probably his best game post-Predator accusations was against Washington a couple years ago. So maybe he feels like he can find that success again. And let's call it what it is. Our defense is not very good. So he's looking at us like I can get right versus this team, to be perfectly honest. Oh, child, Rio, things are going to get easier. Well, they not this week. It's going to be a little bit harder for us this week, but I have a trust and belief in my offense. Rio, this is a real test for Brandon Coleman versus Myles Garrett. What are your thoughts on that matchup? I expect Myles Garrett to get the best out of almost any matchup he has in this league. But if we can find ways to slow him down, I'll take it. If you can neutralize him and not let him take over the game, that's a win. You're not going to keep Myles Garrett out of the backfield all day. You're not going to keep Myles Garrett out of the quarterback's sight for a whole game. But you can neutralize him, and you can find ways to help and chip on him and keep him from taking over a game, because that type of elite talent on defense can wreck an entire game plan, bro. Yo, you're crazy, bro. You got issues, the Bears TV. Can Jayden smash up the Browns? I think he can. I mean, just like they have a good defense, we have a better offense right now. Jayden, I think it's possible. I feel like this won't be the only time Amari Cooper plays in Northwest Stadium this year. I mean, it is possible that we trade for Amari Cooper. I think his cost is going to be significantly less than a guy like Devontae Adams, and his price on his contract is very manageable. He has a problem with the dropsies this year, so that is to be concerned. But he also plays for Deshaun Watson. You know, that ball might be coming with extra baby oil and massage grease on it coming from that guy. Not to make a joke out of the situation, but you know I'm going to make a joke. I heard the Chris Long clip, and I get that unless he gets an interview with JD, he's not coming out to the fan. I get it, but it's all good. You don't got to come down here. EKELER is a dog. We have a three-headed monster at running back, and our quarterback is capable of taking over the game with his legs. Not many teams can relate. We got 4 rushers on this team, including the quarterback, that could start at running back for the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't got a single solid running back on that roster, and I love to see that, by the way. I'm tired of everybody talking about don't get ahead of yourself. No, we will win at least 13 games, and we'll be in the playoffs after winning the NFC East count. I love it, Tony. I love the optimism, and I love that you feel that way. We may not be there yet, but we're allowed to be excited and start talking this way because things are starting to turn in our favor. If they can get to EKELER, they should be able to get pressure on this guy. Everybody else has so far. We're definitely getting a long rushing touchdown. If that exists, I imagine that's going to be from the quarterback, because at some point, Jayden's going to take off, maybe on a passing play where nothing's there that would normally result in a coverage sack. He takes off for 50 yards down the field. It's coming at some point. It's definitely coming. Farrell out, Noah Brown out. Exactly. Rio, our defense is getting better every game. I don't care about stats, wins, and we will win. I don't care about stats either, and they are improving. You know, last week was an improvement. We do need to get better on the ground, but you can't have it every way. We only gave up 14 points last week, and we gave it up, and we adjusted each quarter. We gave up a touchdown in the first quarter, shut them out for the rest of the half. We gave up a touchdown in the third quarter, shut them out for the rest of the half. We love to see that, and I think Arizona's offense is better than what Cleveland and Deshaun Watson and Kevin Stefanski has put out so far. Fuck them, we own one. All I care about is money in the city that I'm from. Fuck it, I'm on one. I feel that. Good teams, backups come in and perform just like Nicholas did. Like McNichols did. Next man up. One of the most overused cliches and platitude in sports, but when you're actually building to something and you're building this shit foundationally, brick by brick, next man up is a real logic to play by. No Noah Brown, no problem. No Noah Brown, no problem. Defense goes crazy this game. Might as well get right versus somebody. At some point, don't we gotta feast on another team's ailments? You know how we've always been the slump busters that fix other teams. At some point, are we the guys on the other side of that? Do we get right versus a bad Cleveland Browns offense? Deshaun Watson, Jerry Jeudy, they got some good receivers. I mean, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, they got receivers over there. But at some point, don't we get right? This is a bad offense this year. And I see it. I see everybody saying it. Oh my God, everybody's picking us. They're making us a favorite. Everybody expects us to win. But I mean, Noah Brown's gonna be missed, but come on, man. Come on, man. We're not about to sit here and lose our mind over Noah Brown being out. We were without Austin Ekeler last week and ran for 200 yards. I'm not about to cry or lose any sleep because Noah Brown's out. Y'all clearly haven't been following Noah Brown's career because this nigga misses games everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, he misses games. This is the Noah Brown experience. He produces in little spots at a time and he's injured. This is his entire career in the NFL. Luke McCaffrey and Olamide Zaccheaus will be in that spot. Do I think AP will go after an edge rusher before the trade deadline? I don't know what AP is doing, but I think he's going to scan every roster, and if there's something available, he's going to take a chance to upgrade the team. I know what AP is not doing. He's not looking at this team like this is Madden, like a lot of us fans do. We're all raised the get right game for players struggling. Exactly. At what point do we turn the tables on that? Now, whoever you're talking about last two games, Terry just proved he's a real number one, despite my own slandering. I mean, I don't think anybody slanders his name. I think there are honest conversations to be had. And Terry's supposed, as our number one receiver, Terry's supposed to produce on a weekly basis. He's done what he's supposed to. I mean, he only had 50 yards last week, but he got in the end zone for the second week in a row. It ain't slandering of names to have honest conversations about your players. Some of us, like myself, are not afraid to have honest, objective conversation. Smash that like button for your boy. We got 285 in the chat. 285 in the chat right now. Keep sending Nicola to the WWE chip. 14K on tap. Yep, 14K is coming up. We almost at 14,000 subscribers. We probably get there by the end of the month. Let's keep it going. This is going to be a dog fight, probably so. It's probably going to be a dog fight, and I'm here for it. This is the dog pound coming to town, so it should make sense. Deshaun has had the worst QBR in the league of 24. Let's keep that going. Joe Witt's finding a rhythm. He self-admittedly said he was putting too much on the guys early on while they're trying to gel and build chemistry. He dialed it back and made it simple, and then look at that. Voila. We have a better game. Let's hope Emmanuel Forbes can build on it. Let's hope Benjamin St-Juste can build on it. I know Benjamin St-Juste wants his get back because Amari Cooper was dragging the shit out of him and Kendall Fuller last time he came here in 2022. This is the best secondary is hitting his face in his young NFL career. You Satan, I'm guessing you meant Jayden. I know we ain't calling Jayden the devil. I think you meant Jayden. This is definitely the best secondary Jayden has faced in his young career, Will. Martin Emerson, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, Ronnie Hickman, Grant Delpit. They definitely got a fire secondary and some fire guys coming off the edge. So I definitely know what you mean. Time for a deep ball for Diami. That's my bold prediction for this one. You're going to see a 50-plus yard play to Diami Brown this week. He's good for one a season. In 2021, it was versus Dallas. In 2022, they came versus Tennessee. And in 2023, it came versus Seattle. At some point, the motherfucker got to get on the board with something more than a screen pass. True ones grabbing 12 balls a game. I mean, or at least getting 12 targets. But I'm cool with Terry's our number one guy. We don't have to sit and have is he a number one receiver debate every week. I just like to have honest conversation. Kirk threw for 500 and only put up 36 points. Jayden threw for 270 and put up 42. You know, it's a team effort. The Falcons didn't run for 200 yards, so that's not an apples to oranges comparison. Kirk was absolutely lights fucking out last night, and we're not going to take anything from a 500-yard 3 or 4 touchdown game for Kirk and a game-winning touchdown. They didn't have a running back unit that ran for 200. Bijan ain't been what he's been drafted to be, and Tyler Algier is not Brian Robinson. So there's a difference between it. You know, let's be honest. What honest? wide receivers have gotten 1,000 yards every season with 10 different quarterbacks. I mean, wide receivers still produce, you know. Justin Jefferson put up 1,000 yards in like 8 games last year, playing with Josh Dobbs and that sorry ass nigga from BYU. I forgot his name. What was that? What was that quarterback from BYU? Byron something. What was his? I don't know his. I shouldn't know his name. I don't know. He won me my fantasy football championship last year though. At 50, I remember the glory days, and I'm starting to get that same feeling, big bro. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, Bubble Chuck, for the $10 donation. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for the donation on this Friday afternoon. I don't know what the glory days feel like, but I'll tell you this. Now that dark cloud doesn't reign over this organization, this team has a chance again. This team has a motherfucking chance again. And for that, we should feel confident about it. We should let some of these past traumas and PTSDs go. What's going on, Smitty? What's good? Jayden does wear red, devilish. Oh, so now Jayden a blood? He a blood and he's Satan. What we doing on a Friday afternoon? I think Ertz finally hits pay dirt this week. He's been building on it. He got a 2-point conversion, and he's been consistently a part of the passing game for the first 4 weeks. I think there's a chance. Mr. C, thank you. Channel member, family. What up, my brother? Thank you for the $49.99 donation. Y'all blessing a brother on this Friday afternoon. I appreciate y'all for locking in with your boy. We got over 333 in the chat on a Friday afternoon impromptu captains and injury report stream. For those just checking into the building, our week 5 captains versus the Cleveland Browns. Our quarterback, the one, the only, Jayden Daniels. On the defensive side of the ball, Dorrance Armstrong and Jeremy Chin. Maybe they're making Jeremy Chin the special teams captain because that's been the trend so far. One offensive captain, one defensive captain, one special teams. And we're continuing the trend of weekly fluctuating team captains. So Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chin. As far as the injury report is concerned, we may decide over the weekend to activate Jordan McGee, Marcus Mariota, and or F.A. Obata, and Noah Brown is out. Cleveland Farrell is out. Austin Ekeler is in. Brian Robinson Jr. is a game-time decision. I'm going to call it. I think he's going to play on Sunday. Bold prediction, St. Juice has a pick 6. Boy, would it be nice to put on a show for our home fans. We got another concert at halftime. Andra Day, very popular singer / actress, will be performing at halftime. So now we're getting regular halftime entertainment. Who is this team of mine? We are acting up. We're acting brand new. St. Jude's pick 6 would put the crowd in hysteria. They'll be going crazy at the Fed on Sunday. 13 personnel all day. Tight ends about to eat. Running backs about to eat. 3 tight ends on the field. You may need it because you need to get some help to chip down and help out on Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett can single-handedly wreck your entire game plan, scrap it, and make you start all over. He's good for one 100-yard game a year and then goes back MIA. Since that's who we know who the culprit is in Dyami Brown, we might as well get that game out of him this week, right? What better week than this week? He got to get some targets this week because Noah Brown, while he is not a world beater by any means, he's an integral part of this passing game here in DC. He's probably our number 2 receiver. So we definitely need Dyami Brown to step up this week. So you're probably going to see more OZ. Probably going to see a heavier dose of Luke McCaffrey this week. Commanders, let's get it. Are we getting Afro JD5 Sunday? If so, it's scary hours. I know, Afro JD5. Let me see if I can find him. That boy was out at practice. He got the fro out this week. Y'all. My boy Jayden got the fro out this week. I was like, uh-oh. Spooky hours for the Cleveland Browns. Y'all saw what JD did with the fro out last year. Man. That boy lethal when he let his hair out. He ain't got his shit twisted up this week. He ain't got it twisted up at all this week. That boy was at practice dribbling his basketball, doing his usual with the fro out. There you go. Bro, what? Scary hours for them boys. And by the way, for those who suggested that I watch the Sam Cosmi mic'd up after the stream last night, that shit was great, man. There's such good vibe. Oh, and if you don't pay attention and if you don't follow underscore movie mode, the guy Callum, who helps put together that hype video for last week. He already posted a picture on his story. He's editing the next cinematic hype video. So we're getting another hype video from the Cardinals game, baby. We're getting another one like that shit we got from the Cincinnati Bengals game that looked like it was produced by Christopher Nolan or some shit. Jaron Hall, that's his name. Thank you. Jaron Hall. I don't know why I thought his name was Byron or some shit. He won me my fantasy league last year because I was playing against an opponent. The only way I could win my fantasy football game was for Jaron Hall and Justin Jefferson in the fantasy championship. They had to stay under 20 points combined, and they put up like 12 points combined, and it won me my fantasy football championship. So I'm forever grateful for the Minnesota Vikings for that. Defense going to be booming and popping. I expect it. Just to clarify, my last Terry comment was in response. To the Bears TV, he's better than Terry. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got what you're saying. I was just speaking generally, by the way. Luke going for 6 catches for $1 and a TD. Let's go. Afro Jayden went crazy on Florida. Oh, and one of those games is coming at some point. We're going to see a close to 300-yard performance through the air, 100 yards on the ground game at some point. Ooh, what if he bring it out next week versus Lamar? Now, we're not going there yet. We're going to leave Lamar where he at. We got to get through this one first. We got to get through this game first. Luke is definitely getting a touchdown. We got to teach that boy how to dive across and keep his feet in bounds while he gets there. We're on our way to being the class of the NFC East any way you slice it. So if we are on the way to do that, you cannot lose a game like this. Senate could have a breakout game. We haven't unleashed the beast yet, but he's been out there blocking his ass off, and he's been out there hustling on special teams. And I love that. For young players, when there are established veterans ahead of you on the roster, you make your bones and you earn yourself snaps by busting your ass in special teams and blocking your ass off. Shout out once again to OG Bobby Johnson, the offensive line coach that we brought over from my boy Xavier's New York Giants. You'll be watching the game. I think I'm going to skip my game. Yeah, nobody cares about Seahawks, Giants. Kenneth Walker going to dog walk y'all on Sunday. Go ahead, watch some real ones play, X. What's going on, my boy? But shout out and thank you for Bobby Johnson, because already you can see the Bobby Johnson effect on not only the offensive line that's playing like a top 5 unit in this league, our tight ends, block. Our wide receivers, block. Our running backs, block. What is Bobby Johnson doing? Does he got our wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends practicing with the linemen? Are they hitting the sleds on a regular basis? I don't know what he's teaching or what the technique that's being taught in Ashburn is, but these guys set the edge. That is the best group of blocking wide receivers I've ever seen here. I can't speak generally throughout the league, but here I've never seen our wide receivers seal the edge and get hands on guys. Noah Brown, washing dudes. Luke McCaffrey, washing dudes. Terry McLaurin, who earlier this season was struggling at blocking, he's washing dudes. They're opening holes. Our running game ain't just happening because our running backs are nice. Our line is opening holes. Our wide receivers are opening holes, and our tight ends are kicking fucking ass through 4 weeks of the season. And shout out to OG Bobby Johnson, because he got these boys absolutely working. It's a team effort, baby. 11 men on the field, 11 men doing their job. All it takes is one guy to pull up, one guy to miss his block, and you ruin a whole fucking play. You know how many plays you can look at and say, oh, if this guy hits his block here, that's a touchdown. If this guy doesn't miss his block here, 50-yard play. It's that little. It's that room for margin of error in the NFL. Love the content from Connecticut. Shout out to Sean and shout out Connecticut. National media getting behind us is making me nervous. Don't let it make you nervous. I know what you meant, though. I was just fucking with you, man. You know, nobody got to apologize for nothing on this side. We keep it a buck and we keep it fun over here. Daniels has been great. Please, man, talk about the O-line and the tight ends blocking. You know I had to get into it, Phil. You know I had to get into it because there is no running game. There is no passing game. There is none of the above without what Bobby Johnson is doing. Bates and Sennett will be X factors because we need that extra tight end on the field. And we run a lot of 12 and 13 personnel, which is 1 back, 2 tight ends, 1 back, 3 tight ends. What are my thoughts on the Commanders winning our division and a home playoff game this year? I think that conversation will be something that we get more into when we see how we get through this next month of games. But if we continue to put on tape similar to what we've seen through the first month of the season, why not have Washington in that conversation? You got to win this game on Sunday, though. A part of stacking wins and being in a divisional race with the Eagles and the Cowboys, who are liable to get hot at any time, maybe not Dallas, because that stretch of games they got coming up is brutal, but in a division with two good football teams who are liable to go hot and win 5 out of 6, 6 out of 7, or 7 in a row at any time, you got to win the games on the schedule that look winnable. And Cleveland looks winnable. Carolina looks winnable. Chicago looks winnable. Tennessee looks winnable. New Orleans looks winnable. Atlanta looks winnable. Pittsburgh, much better football team, winnable ball game. Baltimore, best team left on the schedule. I'm not sure if that's winnable, but we will go out there and compete. Dallas and Philly, those are divisional games, and we have a quarterback now. If our defense is playing any better than it's played the first month of the season, winnable for a split at minimum. So we should be allowed to start those discussions, but it don't mean anything if we don't handle our own business. He's definitely had a breakout game. Maybe not in fantasy football game scoring, but in real football, he definitely has. Lou, that's our new Cooley chant. What's going on? Love the content. JK 31-17 Manders. I like it. I got 30-23 Washington Commanders. What are y'all score predictions for Sunday? If you can get Cooper in a few weeks, then do it. I'm with it, man. Nah, I missed my parlay by 2 legs. Baker was 21 yards short of 200, and Bijan Robinson was 7 yards short of 70 yards. So my 17-leg parlay, I hit 15 legs. Baker was 21 yards short because they decided to stop passing the ball and tried to run the clock out. Big oof, because they ended up losing the game. And Bijan, who was still battling through hamstring, they were giving a lot of the work to Tyler Algier, so he was about 7 yards short. You know, we live and we learn. That's why I only put $5 down on these bets and stack the odds up. You know, game-winning drive in the second game ever versus the Giants. We love to see it. Where that pimp video at? It's coming. It's coming. 31-10, Washington. I like it. It's Luke's game ball on Sunday. I want it, man. I want it. Not going to lie, I like us being the underdogs. I do too. But at some point, it looks like a little bit way ahead of schedule, you stop being the underdog and you become the victor, and they want to see you fail, and they all start betting on you instead of against you. We have to learn how to adjust to expectations once we get there. So we got to take care of business. Jared and Deuce, appreciate you. My man said uploaded his first video this morning. There we go. Everybody hit that like button. Click on Jared and Deuce's channel and sub up. We support all Washington content creators on this side. I want to see everybody eat. No worries, man. Jayden can get 500 plus yards this year rushing. I think he may have close to 500 yards rushing at the midway point. He'll have that in the first 8 weeks. We're talking 700 to 800 yards rushing, and he's doing it while picking his spots better. Ain't gonna be none of that week 1. Try trading for Greg Newsome. Shit, that was my best video this offseason. I put the energy out in the air for trading for Greg Newsome because he wants a contract there. According to Chef Zay, he's been struggling so far this season, and Martin Emerson the last 2 weeks have been struggling. So hopefully we can keep that going. OG Bobby Johnson. OG Bobby Johnson. Word on the street. That was my shit. That was my shit, by the way. Shout out Bobby Johnson. They put the ball that JD threw to Terry against the Bengals in the Hall of Fame. Bro, I'm not used to this type of They glazing us like Krispy Kreme donuts right now, and I'm not going to lie, it feels good. I ain't never consumed it. I got the addiction, bruh. This team is hitting like a crack pipe right now. I'm clicking Washington Commanders. I'm clicking Jayden Daniels, and I'm watching every single thing that pops up in the algorithm. Every single one of them, man. De'Ami Brown week could possibly be this week. It could be his game to step up. If he can't step up with Noah Brown out, there's a good chance we never see him step up this year. The posse were great blocking wide receivers too. Nice to see the receivers blocking downfield again. And that again is why we traded Jahan Dotson. Well, part of the reason why we traded Jahan Dotson. He didn't want to block. He didn't want to be a physical receiver, and he couldn't get off man coverage. If you put your hands on him at the line, he quits and folds immediately. So you're starting to see in real time why they wanted no parts of this man on our roster this year. I seen all 3 Super Bowl. I felt the momentum our team had when it happened, and this is very similar. So maybe in the next year or two, we start bringing home Lombardis. Fingers crossed. I'm not ready to go there yet, but I'm going to take your word for it, David, because you've seen the glory days, and I've only seen the NFL Films version of it. So respect, salute to you. I feel that. What if Diami has a breakout game and it sparks his play? All I need is one right now. All I need in my life right now is a Diami Brown breakout game, because why not now? This feels just like the Tennessee Titans game 2 years ago. Back home in the burgundy jerseys with the sun out in the fall. Go crazy, Diami. I don't know if it'll figure him out for the season, but I'll take one while Noah Brown shakes back. Diami is Diami. Everyone has to understand this is him. This is who he is. I said this on my NFC East roundtable the other day. I go to therapy twice a month. It's good for the soul. It's good for my mental health. My therapist always says, you have to sometimes believe people when they show you who they are. Don't doubt it. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to work your way around it. Sometimes when people show you who they are, you have to believe it. Diami Brown is who he's shown us to be, but he's always good for one. And if he's always good for one, why not this week with a depleted wide receiver room with Noah Brown out? Smash the like button one more time. We're approaching 400 chat members right now. We're at almost 1:30 in the afternoon. We're ready to go. JD5 hype speech for the first time this year should have the squad fired up. The boy's a captain. The boy has already hard launched into superstardom, and he doesn't care. It doesn't get to his head. He don't really give a fuck about the accolades. He's taking it in. He's living his dream. You see that smile on his face? He plays with a smile on his face all day. Even when we were getting our ass bust at the end of the Tampa Bay game, you saw an unflappable, unfazed guy living out his boy dream to play in the NFL. And I saw some people, why is he always smiling? Why can't he look upset that we're losing? Because that guy is never going to change his demeanor. He loves playing football. He enjoys it, and he likes playing for his brothers. And that's why our locker room, the coaching staff, the front office, and the entire organization, and now the rest of the world is catching up and believing in Jayden Daniels as well. Not to be let down on the Commanders, but we might lose to the Ravens. No, I mean, we're probably going to lose to the Ravens. We're not that good yet. That's not even a letdown. That game is a litmus test of, can we hang with the Ravens? Can we keep it close with the Ravens? Can we go mano-a-mano and blow for blow with the Ravens? We're not beating the Ravens, most likely. I might come on here and eventually be swayed to say, fuck it, why not us, and pick us to beat the Ravens, but we're most likely probably not beating the Ravens. We will not have one person in this country pick us to beat the Ravens next week. Depending on how this Browns game look, I might, though. I don't care. Y'all notice our schedule this year is almost identical aside from to our 2012 schedule. Very similar opponents-wise. Very, very similar. Like, we didn't play Chicago that year, and there's a couple teams we did not play that year, but I can definitely see where you bring it. But this is a different football team. This is a drastically different quarterback, and this is a completely new program, and our ownership group is not the guy who owned the team at the time. 35-28 Washington. I dig that. 28-10 Commanders. When we go up big on teams, they tend to mess up a lot. And here's the thing. I had Chef Zay, big content creator for the Cleveland Browns, on the channel on Wednesday night, and he said, if y'all get up on us early, it may be curtains because Deshaun Watson is not capable of bringing the Browns back in the game. So if our offense gets right to the shits like we have the last 3 weeks of the season, we may put the Browns in a situation where they have to play desperate. Shit, they may even have to put crab legs in the game if we get after Deshaun Watson enough. That is Jameis Winston, for those who did not understand that reference. 32-11. 11 is such an ugly number. How did we get there? 11? That is a crazy looking number. I'm going to say 500-yard passing in a game. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. I'm about to say 500 rushing yards is very achievable. but that's a lot. That's asking of a lot. We may not have to ever make Jayden be put in a position where he has to throw it that much. I even be watching those videos where they have the video the copyright junk. Yeah, just like we were talking about on stream the other day. The junk with a little Korean kid at the end of the video knitting and shit. 23 or 27-20 us. Cleveland D cannot handle tight ends and are not good against the run. We got to bully them. Do you think Newton's going to start and show out? Start? No. But I think he's going to play a lot more. Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne are going to start for as long as they're here. Those are the guys in that room. But I think Newton's going to be unleashed. I know he hustles as hard as any of those guys. I see that guy following the play and not giving up longer than all those guys in that room. EB ruined Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson ruined Jahan Dotson. I'm not crediting nobody for that. His downfall is on him. Did EB's offense help? No, it didn't, but I'm not saying EB ruined him. That's a grown man first-round pick. Jahan Dotson is the problem, period. I'm not excusing a grown man first-round pick. I think we should go gold pants every time we wear the burgundy jerseys. Jahan Dotson is showing the world who he is, and he's been showing the world who he is. That's not all Eric Bieniemy's fault. Eric Bieniemy didn't make Jahan Dotson play like a pussy. He plays like a pussy. You put your hands on him, he's cooked. He don't want to block nobody. He's not physical, and he thought he had a job promised to him because the last regime drafted him in the first round. Absolutely not. That nigga's run 106 routes this year and has 50 yards. That has nothing to do with Eric Bieniemy. That boy's cooked. I was there for Gibbs 1.0, and the way that this team handles the media feels a lot like back then, and that is a great thing to see. Guys know how to handle them at the podium, on the field, off the field. You just love the culture that's being set here. Yellow pants, burgundy jerseys, and yellow face mask. I feel that. I love how Jayden is a dog, but he's humble. I love how off the field, he's such a nice, soft-spoken, humble guy, but on the field, he's an arrogant killer. He's a killer. He talks his shit. He wants to take your life out, and he wants to beat you, and he's going to tell you about it while he's on the field. I love it. I love it. We got one of those ones, y'all. We got one of those quarterbacks. So I don't care who shows up on the schedule. I don't care who shows up on the schedule. I don't care if it's Baltimore, Philly, Dallas. I don't care if it's the fucking Kansas City Chiefs. When the coaches on the team are finally getting through to players, something we did not see throughout the entire tenure of the last guys. I don't even want to keep saying their names. And when you have a quarterback that is special, that teams have to alter their entire game plan to try to contain the arm and the legs, you have a chance every single week. Ravens, these nuts. We win this game this week. I'm picking us to beat the Ravens next week. I don't care if that's delusional. I will be fucking delusional. We ain't been 4-1 in 16 years, 2008. So if we get the 4-1, I'm talking crazy going into Ravens week. The way Jayden, the natural Daniels, is playing, the way he looked in college, he is on his way to the MVP. They're not going to give the MVP to a rookie, but I love everybody's thinking on that aspect. I love that he's even being mentioned in it. But I think we're another year or two out for that type of conversation. But we shall see as this go on. If he starts to turn up the numbers and Washington stacks some wins, you never know. Like I told you, the way our schedule looks, we got, off the top of my head, we got the Cleveland Browns at home this week. We got the Ravens next week at Baltimore. We got Carolina at home on the 20th in the Darrell Green retirement game. We got Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears on the 27th. And then we go up to the New York Giants the week after that. If we take care of business during that 5-game stretch, we can start having a lot of conversations we were uncomfortable having weeks ago. So you never know. Are we capable of being elite? This is year one, y'all. It's just the start. We shall see. If you want to be elite, if you want to change the course, you win games against teams like this Cleveland Browns team that's coming in, looking to fix their season versus us. That's the hardest game on the schedule. The Ravens, absolutely. 2-time MVP candidate, best team in the NFL last year. Just like Stella, they got their groove back last week after they stomped one of the hottest teams in the league, the Buffalo Bills, and an MVP candidate and Josh Allen. Baltimore is just like what we're building to be here in DC. So that's going to be a fun evaluation litmus test for this team. I'm not scared of them either, but we're going to talk about them when we get there. They do be knitting. They be knitting. They be knitting. They be playing Sudoku. Little Korean kids on the video. at the end of the video. Video start turning left and right like a seesaw. Trying to avoid the copyright claims because you got to alter content that's not yours when you use it. Those videos, the page be like Hai Kanku, faux ESPN. Oh man, this feels good, man. We're having a good time on a Friday. Just think we could have had a lobby. Oh, no, man. Oh man. We're 3-1, man. I'm not thinking about what we could have had right now. We're not playing that game today because that's going to get hurtful every time we go there because we could have Gonzalez. We could have Christian Darrisaw. But we're not going there. We're 3-1 right now. What we could have, should have, would have in the last regime is a moot point nowadays, man. Good morning, everyone. Yes, we still in the AM here. Oh, you must be on the West Coast, what they call the best coast. Chubb was just officially ruled out. There we go. You know how guys miraculously become active when they play us? Not going to happen this week. He's out. Smash that like button, y'all. Smash that like button for your boy. Smash that thumbs up under the video. It helps the channel and it costs you nothing to do so. It helps push this content out to a wider audience and helps the channel grow as we're on the road to 100,000. Yes, I have unrealistic expectations for myself because if your dreams are normal, you're not dreaming big enough for me. I want a silver play button plaque on the wall for 100,000 subscribers one day, and I believe that day is going to come. We're going to get there, and as this team gets better, it's going to get realer because we're going to bring the casuals back. We're going to bring the fans back that don't want to watch content about this team. And we're going to bring fans from fan bases worldwide because Washington is going to be great again at some point. Let's go. Everyone knows the East Coast is better than the West Coast. Hey, I'm from the East Coast. I don't have a take on this, man. I don't have a take on this. Cali cool as shit. I fuck with California. Jerome Ford, 100 yards and a touchdown. Watson, 250, 2 touchdowns. Cooper, 80 and a touchdown. Judy, 100-yard touchdown. We lose 28-10. Boo! Boo this man. I ain't mad at you. That's your opinion, man. I ain't mad at you for that. But what I will say is we shouldn't be shaking in our boots over the Cleveland Browns. Come on, y'all. Let's bucket. Let's sack up. Let's sack up, y'all. Let's sack the hell up. It's the Cleveland Browns. We can beat this football team. They're a lot better than their record shows, but come on, man. You're a truther or are you a traumatic fan? Because what about the Cleveland Browns makes you think we're going to lose 28-10 to a team that has not scored 20 points this year? Are you a truther or are you living in the past? Are you afraid? Because it looks like you're afraid, my brother. It looks like you're living in the past. Oh, it's a trap game. We're going to do what Washington always do. It seems like you're stuck in the Snyder era and you need to join us on the Josh Harris era of Washington Commanders football because 28-10 to the Browns ain't no fucking way they hold us to 10 points on Sunday. There's not a chance in the fucking world that they hold this offense to 10 points on Sunday. Not a chance. We could lose this game, but ain't no way we scoring 10 points. It's definitely the PTSD, my man. It's like you're on your first date. You got the courage to finally get over your ex, and you go out on a little hinge date, a little Tinder date, and you go into it. You get a fresh fit. You get some nice shoes picked out. You about to go meet Shawty for some drinks, and then on the way there, all the thoughts running through your mind in the car. She's about to use me. This ain't about to work. She probably going to cheat on me like the last one. She not going to like my fit. She not going to like me. Women ain't shit. Like, it's like all the thoughts going through your head of why it's not going to work because it didn't work out in the past. Sometimes we got to give people a chance. We got to give people a chance, y'all. We got to give people a chance, and we got to give this football team a chance. You can't go into the date with the new girl expecting her to do what the last girl did. You can't, because there's no point of getting back out there and trying over again. We're allowed to choose love. We're allowed to give love a chance, and we're allowed to believe that this football team is better than Washington teams of past. You know, I feel you. Scary. Don't want to jinx. I feel you though. I feel you. But I watched their game last week and they shot themselves in the foot. Yep. Cooper couldn't catch anything and caused a pick last week. Watson should have had. Yeah, he should have. Should have. Keyword emphasis on should have. I saw the game-winning touchdown. I watched the full condensed version of that game. Every play of the game with no commercial. They should have. They had a 10-0 lead on the Gardner Minshew-led Las Vegas Raiders, and they blew it. They should have blown the Raiders out. Washington should have lost to the New York Giants. Washington should have lost to Joe Burrow on Monday Night Football, and Washington should have lost to the Arizona Cardinals in the desert last week. Washington shoulda, coulda, woulda a lot of things. If we're not going to do that for our team, why are we doing that for the Cleveland Browns? Why are we shoulda, coulda, woulda for them? That's PTSD speaking, my brother. Give this team a chance. I understand. I get it. We've been through hell. We have been through one battered and beaten and bruised up relationship here. Y'all ever seen the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez, where she had to keep changing her name and relocating her and her daughter because her abusive husband kept following her and trying to kill her everywhere? That's what it felt like to be a Washington fan for the last 25 years. We're trying our best to escape that abusive spouse that has beaten the shit out of us for the last quarter of a century. But let me tell you this, that abusive spouse does not sit in the owner's suite anymore. That abusive spouse does not have a henchman running the front office of this football team. And that abusive spouse did not pick the quarterback that is currently behind center here in DC. So we got to give this team a chance to stop holding them to the expectations of the teams that preceded them. That's my take on the matter, but I'm not mad at you for picking us to lose this weekend. And they Chris blew it. They did Chris blew it. They had a 10-0 lead last week. I'm not trying to be a preachy fan. I'm not trying to tell nobody how to fan. I see why people would pick us to lose this game. In years past, Washington loses this game 10 out of 10 times and twice on Sunday. Rio, we could put you on the field and score 10 points. But no, I feel where he's coming from. Because he's exactly right. Even one of my boys in the group chat, I ain't gonna put no names out there. They said, I feel like this is a letdown week for us. I get it. Coming off the high of the last 2 weeks, being that new hot shit, that new popular team to love in the league. Washington always lets us down in this situation. Here's the difference. We're building it right this time. There was no Adam Peters here to pull the strings and get this thing right. There was no Jayden Daniels here where a real promising, checks all the boxes, eye test passer and production quarterback here. And most importantly, there is an ownership group that refuses to follow the lead of Daniel Snyder. So we're allowed to expect a new normal, and why we should not be overlooking the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. I'm going to need fans to feel like we can beat the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. I get it, though. I get it. I totally get why you'd feel that way. The Cleveland Browns have a better roster than us. They have more chemistry than us. They've been to the playoffs. They've been through more real-life shit than this young Washington team. But I feel like we're here, y'all. I feel like we've arrived earlier than anticipated. And I feel like a team like the Cleveland Browns, if you can't beat them, we should not ever say the word playoffs at any points of the season. Jayden Daniels 4-touchdown prop. Oh, man. Y'all bash me if you want. We getting recognized because of the name change. The new rookie quarterback, Snyder being gone, actually having a GM. Dan Snyder being gone is the main reason why they're putting respect on us, because nobody ever wanted to believe that this team was going to turn around because they have such bad ownership. It's kind of like how everybody knows, as good as the Dallas Cowboys are in the regular season every year, with Jerry Jones not only being the owner, but the general manager of the Dallas Cowboys, you know that their ceiling has a cap to it. There's a cover on it, and they can't bust the top off of it because the head of the snake is poisonous, and that venom seeps throughout the organization. So there's a ceiling to their success. That is why people always picked against the Washington Commanders, Redskins football team for the last 25 years. It didn't matter what they did. Dan Snyder owns the team. He was going to find a way to fuck it up. And you know what he did time after time? He proved them right and fucked it up. Every single time. Every single time. We got more chemistry at the time being. We're building onto something. We're building onto something. But hey, man, exactly. We talking about football games now, baby. We talking about the results of games. Yep. We're talking about winning, baby. Refs actually on our side now. It's easier to root for this team when you're not having to cheer for a team that's owned by Napoleon Bonaparte Snyder. Little man complex at his finest. I'm excited for this Sunday. 30-20 Washington Commanders. I haven't put together what my stat predictions for Jayden Daniels for Sunday are going to be yet, but we're going to see. We're going to see. I'm going to do a video for it when I get some number predictions for you, but I'm going 30-20 Washington Commanders, 10-point victory. Rio for the ride or dies. No new friends, no new friends, no new friends, no. Yeah, we're going to get some bandwagons. There's going to be a lot of people jumping ship coming over from different fan bases because it's easy to root for number 5, but y'all can come if you want to. We'll embrace it. Jayden Daniels, 3,600, 800 rushing yards, 25 passing touchdown, 10 rushing touchdown. Oh, my God. That would be one of the greatest seasons in NFL history. T. Higgins to the Commanders. I love it. I love it. And we're going to start theorizing as we get closer to the trade deadline. If Washington makes a move, what will be the type of move that it would take for us to pull the trigger? Glad you started this full time, bro. You have a calling in sports casting, and glad you do it for my team. Glazing, you're not going to lie. I appreciate you, man. It ain't glazing. That's just showing respect. And I appreciate every single one of y'all that tap in and listen to me yap about this football team because I do have a passion for it. I love it. And I have a lot of opinions when it comes to it. And I like to hear all of yours as well. We may not always agree. We may disagree most of the time, but I respect everybody's opinion. And I like to include y'all as a part of this show as well. That's why I'm a little blind and I'm a little sight impaired, even with glasses on, but I try to get as many comments on the screen and include y'all into the show as possible. We need a DB. One of those may not be available at this current juncture, but I'm sure we're going to try to make something happen during the trade deadline. T. Higgins to the Commanders in 2025 as an unrestricted free agent is all I'm interested in. Why throw draft compensation for him? The Bengals will not be franchising him for a second year in a row. They have to pay a long, lucrative deal to Jamar Chase. He's walking for the free 99 next offseason. Tell him to come hit our line. He got a first glance view live from Cincinnati a little over a week ago. Tomorrow, we run for 2 days from now. I know you're anticipating it. I know it feels like tomorrow. We got 2 more days, my boy. Tomorrow, we run for over 200. JD5. I like it. I like it. I love that shit. Me and Rio been butting heads on the name for a year. It's all good. And it's not necessarily butting heads. It's just, I just want us to win, baby. I just want us to win, my boy. I want us to be called NFC East champion. I want us to be called NFC champion. And one day I want to be called the Super Bowl champion. Derrick Henry got a stiff. Oh, my God, does he? I hope Emmanuel Forbes is nowhere near Derrick Henry on the field next year. But wouldn't be surprised if he throws fewer than 6 interceptions. I can see it. I can see it. But that boy accurate. That boy is everything we've been waiting for as a quarterback. And I cannot wait to see what his next showing looks like. We got 406 in the chat right now. Can y'all smash that like button? Smash that like button for your boy. It is Friday. It is about 1:46. It's almost 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. We're here breaking down the injury report expectations for Sunday against the Cleveland Browns, week 5. Our captains for the week, quarterback Jayden Daniels, Afro out Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chin. Noah Brown and Cleveland Farrell will be out for the Commanders. Austin Ekeler is back for the Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. is a game-time decision. That boy going to play. He's a tank. He's going to play on Sunday. I think we got our full slate and litany at running back this weekend. Noah Brown is out, and Noah Brown is always on the injury report. That's what he's been his entire career. It's the reason why we've never seen a 1,000-yard Noah Brown season, because motherfuckers always hurt. In Dallas and Houston, it follows him everywhere he goes. The injury report is something he is not. Injury report hates to see Noah Brown coming. Let's just say that. What's going on, Big Money Sonny? We clapping Gorilla Booty Cheeks Sunday. Beat the Brownies. Beat the Brown. Like, we talk about names. Like, the Browns are named after Paul Brown. They say, go Brownies. What's fly about that? Like, just think about that for a second. Go Brownies. That sounds fucking nuts. That sounds like some Girl Scout shit. Rio, you looking cute today. Appreciate you for the donation. Y'all trolling on this Friday afternoon. Appreciate you, man. We can't sign a 1-year rental. J.C. Jackson. Xavier Howard has a weird case. I don't think no one's messing with Xavier Howard this year. J.C. Jackson is a walking season-ending injury. I don't think J.C. Jackson is the answer either. Rio, bruh, if Frankie hit Derrick Henry like Swagoo hit Beast Mode, we'll ignite the season. You know he coming. You know the CTE missile, Big Oos, the Pacific Islander we have at middle linebacker, he gonna hit anything. That dude is a killer. That Frankie Louvu hype video the other day made me want to run through my fucking apartment. Forbes gonna get Molly Wop. Nick Chubb has been ruled out. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, David. Yep, he's not playing this week. I told y'all he wasn't playing. JD gonna be scarier when he starts connecting on more of the deep shots, and that'll come with time. You know, quarterback ain't just about slinging deep balls through the field all the time. Tom Brady wasn't throwing deep balls all week, every week during his career. He just slowly matriculated the ball up and down the field. It ain't about hitting deep balls all the place. You can't have it both ways all the time. Would y'all rather have an efficient quarterback who can hit the deep ball on an accurate basis, but it's less? Or would you rather have a guy like Anthony Richardson who can't throw a slant, a screen, a quick out, a dig, or a curl, but the nigga can throw a 70-yard bomb with the best accuracy in the league? You know, it's a double-edged sword. Jayden can do both, and he picks his spots. It ain't about to be bombs over Baghdad every other play. That's not how the NFL works. But I like what I see from him, and we know his deep ball accuracy is like that. Noah being out sucks. We're going to need to run our ass off. Noah Brown being out is not going to change the game plan. I know y'all like Noah Brown, but Noah Brown is not something you need to change the game plan because he's out. Noah Brown's not that good. Noah Brown has been a godsend for us because our wide receiver room on a name recognition is ass. But let's not act like we need to change our game plan because Noah Brown is out, because we definitely don't. We won a game without Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler, way more essential to this offense than Noah Brown. Dream scenario, Tyreek Hill and Nicole. I'm definitely dreaming, because we are not getting Tyreek Hill, and we're definitely not getting a Sauce-type corner. But I hear you. Keep dreaming, though. Dreaming is great, but then you got to wake up. You got to wake up, because Sauce Gardners don't grow on trees. You got to get one of those in the draft. Shout out to the VR tech Jayden Daniels uses in practice. Yep, big reason why he's cooking. We're going to see a story on that real soon, I promise you. But, yep, and like Rob said, guys are going to line up to play here. Imagine that. Washington is going to become a destination, and not because you just know you're going to finesse them and steal a bag from them. Bruce Smith, Deion Sanders, Adam Archuleta, Trung Canady, Albert Hainsworth. Not because we're a destination that's just going to throw a bag at you for no reason. It's going to be a destination because people see the culture here. People see the quarterback and they want to play. and they want to play. Nah, I'm not tripping on that. I'm not tripping on that. Y'all do this shit with all of our players. We're not changing the game plan because of Noah Brown. We're not changing the game plan for a nigga whose career high this season is 60 yards. That is, we're not doing that. I'm not going to sit here and let y'all say we're doomed because Noah Brown ain't playing. Noah Brown is an average NFL receiver that is forced to be a number 2 receiver here in DC. Ain't nobody changing the game plan because Noah Brown's not playing on Sunday. That is Ashburn syndrome at its finest, and I'm not going to do that. How many touchdowns Noah Brown got this year? Noah Brown averaging 40, 50 yards a season. Because our wide receiver room is so bare, we have to rely on guys like Noah Brown. Ain't no fucking way you're going to tell me we panicking because Noah Brown's not playing on Sunday. You're tripping, my boy. That is Ashburn syndrome at its finest. Looking forward to that one-on-one interview with Vic. Oh, I can't wait to see that as well. That shit gonna hit different because Vic, one of my legends, man. Virginia legend right there. Virginia legend. We've had a different leading receiver every week of the season. I'm not about to sit here and lose a second of sleep because Noah Brown is not playing. Noah Brown is a key piece to the offense. Austin Ekeler is a key piece to the offense. What did we do last week? Austin Ekeler is a key piece to the offense. What did we do last week? Did we lose sleep? Did we fold? Did we fold? No, we didn't. We didn't fold. If Terry is as good as the fan base thinks he is, we should not be crying because Noah Brown is out. Because Noah Brown is a okay wide receiver. We can't be tripping over what Noah Brown does. Who else is going to do what he does? We're going to have to get the ball to De'Ami Brown, Luke McCaffrey, and Olamide Zaccheaus. You know, Olamide Zaccheaus on Sunday had more yards than Noah Brown has had in any game this season. We don't great is a stretch. We have another good back. You know, we have a really good receiver in Terry McLaurin, and we got a bunch of mid to average but productive-ish receivers. Olamide Zaccheaus had more yards on Sunday than Noah Brown had all season. So what are we talking about? Do we draft? Oh, no, we're drafting a corner in round 1. I don't want to pigeonhole us to one position, but I think I'd say that we're drafting a cornerback in round 1. Unless one magically appears on this roster via trade or an elite corner ends up on the free agent market. AJ Terrell's a free agent. I imagine the Falcons are going to sign him. But if not, oh, yeah, we got to be lined up for that. Yep, a really good back. JD Smooth, Moms is fine. Yeah. Everybody want our quarterback moms. Hey, we got chill, man. Ain't no defensive coordinators having meetings about Noah Brown. I promise you that. Ain't nobody. And Jim Schwartz is not putting Noah Brown on the scouting report for the Commander. The plan is to neutralize Terry and man up everybody else on this defense. Come on, man. We're not game planning around Noah Brown out here, man. Come on, y'all. I like Noah Brown. He's been a significant addition to this team because our wide receiver room after Terry is real suspect. But, I mean, Luke McCaffrey is getting open on the clip higher than every receiver on the roster this year. He's had some key catches, sure. So is Luke McCaffrey. I see Luke McCaffrey with a big third down conversion, with a big fourth down conversion that shifted our drive versus the Bengals, you know. They can't man up Noah Brown. Oh, my God. Hey, bless your heart, young fly rye. Bless your heart, man. That's Ashburn syndrome right there. That's Ashburn syndrome right there. I can see Luke improving throughout the season. Luke is open. We got to get him the ball. Luke is open. Luke blocks. Luke plays hard. We're going to be fine with Luke and Olamide Zaccheaus. The game plan does not change one bit. Cliff Kingsbury does not need to change one thing about the game plan with Noah Brown being out. And that's all I'm saying. I respect what Noah Brown has done here, but I'm not going to sit here and act like the game plan changes because of Noah Brown is out. I believe Noah Brown has been targeted more than anyone. This means it's about Jayden's comfortability, not necessarily his talent. Jayden going to throw the ball to whoever he sees and wherever his progressions take him. I like Noah Brown, but it's Noah Brown. Like we can't act like the offense. Oh my God, how are we gonna pass the ball this week? Because the great Noah Brown, first down, Noah Brown's not gonna play on Sunday, man. I'm not acting like he doesn't have catches. I'm acting like we're not going to change the game plan. He sound like what Ryan Grant. Thank you. There we go. There we go. Perfect example, Coach Joe. Perfect example. He is bigger Ryan Grant. He's bigger Ryan Grant. Absolutely. Absolutely. There we go. That's the perfect analogy for what we're talking about. He's moving the sticks and he's catching big catches, but the game plan does not change because Noah Brown is not playing this week. Ertz is more important than Noah Brown. Correct. Ertz is making shit happen for this offense as well. Terry got to be Terry. We talking about Terry McLaurin. He's our best receiver. We're going to be all right, man. We're going to be all right, man. No, we're not making it seem like he's a number one receiver. He's not that. We all know he's not that. And I know you know he's not that. But I'm just saying, I don't think we need to really change the game plan because he does move the chains. He does. He does keep it moving. He's had some big catches this year versus the Giants, versus the Bengals, all that shit. Uh-oh, B-Rob just tweeted thumbs up. We're Gucci, y'all. We're good to go. B-Rob's good to go for Sunday. I know players just be saying anything, and players will say they're good when they're not. But I heard that man on the radio yesterday. That nigga said he's playing on Sunday. He said he's playing. No, he's decent. But we're going to be all right, man. We're going to be all right. A key piece of the offense is it's a stretch. Yeah, B-Rob. B-Rob, the tank is going to play. The tank is going to play. We got our full litany of running backs this week. They're going to have to stop B-Rob. They're going to have to stop EKELER. They're going to have to stop McNichols. They're going to have to stop our quarterback's legs as well. And apparently, Devontae Adams might be heading to the Ravens, according to his latest Instagram story. Well, good for him, man. It's interesting that they're trading him in the conference if they do that, but that's an offense where receivers go to die. So good luck to him because that offense is predominantly run heavy and it's not designed for a receiver like him. But hey, who are the captains for week 5 against the Browns? Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chin. Jayden is the captain for the first time this year. Dorrance Armstrong is a captain for the first time this year, coming off a sack-and-a-half game. And Jeremy Chin, after 2 good games in a row, is definitely a captain this week. So those are your captain. I'm still not used to this weekly captain things, but it's working right now. We're not doing the most. You're doing the most because you've made at least 10 plus comments about Noah Brown. That's the last I have to comment on it. Thank you for your time, though. We as a fan base got to stop worshiping and fantasizing mid players. We do it all the time. There are niggas in the fan base right now ready to leave because Derek Forrest isn't active weekly. Like, we gotta stop this shit. We got to stop with the Kelvin Harmons, the Antonio Gandy Goldens, the Jimmy Morelands of the world. And don't nobody love an average player like a Washington fan. Washington fans will put an average player on their car. They'll get a fat head on their wall, and they'll buy a jersey. I knew people who owned Tariq Fields Castro jerseys. Like, man, being ass for so long, that should have had you looking at a Jag like he'd have won. Oh, man, Chin has made so many picks in Madden. Speaking of Madden, Jayden Daniels is up to a 79 overall in Madden right now. Should be an 80, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Love to see it. We're one of the most picked teams in Madden right now. Not that anyone cares, but it's nice to see. Ocho fighting James Harrison in MMA. Is that really happening? James Harrison going to beat the shit out of Ocho Cinco. Why would they do that? Why would there's no way. Are they really fighting? We love the shit out of our average ass player. We and fans are like, why they not playing them when they winning? Noah Brown nice though. We're gonna be all right though. Luke McCaffrey season. We gotta have Noah Brown. We gotta have a Brown to beat the Browns. Hey, I like it. Diami, you know he's good for one a year. You know he's good for one a year. You know who's probably excited Noah Brown isn't playing this weekend? Diami Brown. We got to keep it in the family, right? You lose one Brown, another Brown steps up to beat the Browns. I see exactly what you're doing here with this one, E. Got to keep it in the family. Go Brownies. That shit sounds so soft. Go Brownies. We're talking about Commander sounds to go Brownies. We for real? Brownies. Imagine being a fan and say, we're grown-ass fans. Go Brownies. It's shit like that makes me say, man, these names don't fucking matter, man. Yeah, man, for Trung candidate. Madden legend Trung candidate. Boy, I used to get busy with Trung candidate and Madden, man. Don't give Daniels too much on his plate. He had this problem more times at LSU and it didn't go well. Spread it out a bit, run the ball with the backs, throw it. Oh, yeah. Cliff got him. Cliff know what he's doing with him. He's managing him well. It's why he doesn't look like Bo Nix or Caleb Williams, because he's not running these elaborate ass overcomplicated offense. They're pulling it back and they're opening it up a week at a time. They're letting the game speak to them. They're letting it slow down and they're opening the offense a little bit more each week. Praying Ben Sinnott starts catching passes. He's a rack beast. It's coming at some point. And one thing we can't do is we can't complain about guys' target shares, because it's going to come. Don't fix what ain't broken yet. Keep it rolling. Guys will get on the field a little bit more at a time. Brownies isn't racist, but Redskins. What if we traded up for Travis Hunter in the draft? I'm here for that. I think what you do when you're a better team than usual and you're aggressive in year 2 of the plan and you know you got your quarterback, it allows you and frees you up to do something aggressive like a Julio Jones type trade up for Travis Hunter. That's a fucking talent right there. I may not need my spleen, but it's nice to have around, not unlike Noah Brown. It is definitely nice to have Noah Brown around, but the plan ain't going to be changed. I need to bake some brownies after the game. Go Commanders. What type of brownies we talking about? We talking about the normal kinds, or we talking about the ones that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside? Going to find out how mature this team is after all this hype. Exactly. Telling you, he is now a franchise quarterback, but still a rookie, and there is nothing better to prepare for the NFL as a badass SEC player. Yep, and if you're a Mississippi State fan, I need you to come coach up our boy, Emmanuel Forbes, man. He put together a solid game on Sunday. Let's hope he can build on that for the boys. But, oh, yeah, for sure, he's been a huge reason for why pass protection has been a strong point for us. Indeed. I wouldn't trade up. Let Peters be. I will let Peters. I'm at the point where Adam Peters can do whatever the fuck he wants to, because you can already see the vision. This team is not there yet, but you can already see the vision. He made enough moves in his first offense to at least put a competitive football team out there on the field. And while this roster still has a bunch of holes on it, you see the vision and you see the eye for football talent. He brought in Tyler Biadasz. He brought in Austin Ekeler. He brought in Nick Allegretti, a guy who fucking none of us knew before we signed him. He brings in a Frankie Louvu on a 3-year contract. Dorrance Armstrong, Bobby Wagner to set the tone, and then you put a young rookie middle of the draft line, day 3 linebacker behind him. He's brought in guys that set the culture. Zach Ertz. Oh, Zach Ertz is, look at Zach Ertz. He's turning back the clock and he speaks the language of Cliff Kingsbury's offense. You see a general manager that has a plan, and that is the difference between Adam Peters and all of the henchmen Dan Snyder hired of years past to run this football team. There are football cognizant grown men running this team now. So whatever Adam Peters decides to do, cook that shit up, Chef P. I'm your age. I grew up with Michael Westbrook, Albert Connell, and James Thrash. JD and Terry are the best duo we've had. I'm excited for us, for sure. Shout out Albert Connell in 83. My boy James Thrash, the special teams legend. Michael Westbrook, punk ass who sucker punched Big Country Stephen Davis and fought in practice. We've been through some rough times here in D.C., y'all. Yeah, we got it. If they make a move at the deadline, congratulations. If they don't make a move at the deadline, cool. Whatever Adam Peters does, I'm with it. I didn't listen to his weekly appearance on Big 100 Radio yet. I got to check that out. But I just enjoy listening to Adam Peters. I enjoy seeing his smiling face and the salt and pepper James Bond aesthetic this man has on the sideline. I enjoy seeing our owner and our GM. I used to be repulsed every time they showed the owners in the owner's box. I used to be repulsed every time they show Ron Rivera arms crossed on the sideline. I'm happy just to see these Bamas now. We are in a new day in DC, y'all. Dallas fans thought they wouldn't lose a step after losing their DC, and now I see them on Twitter talking about we need Quinn back. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Not only did he draft a long snapper, This man traded up for a long snapper that 3 years in forgot how to snap a football. If that ain't the most Ronald Eugene Rivera shit I've ever seen in my life, I don't know what to tell you. Man. I'm tired of talking about him, but it's a name that's going to be synonymous with this team forever, because if this current regime and this quarterback is the one that officially changes our lives and our team here in DC, Ron Rivera is responsible for giving us the opportunity for it. So he will forever be either famous or infamous for allowing us to do this. Next season is when we will spend money. Yes, sir. Not only will we spend money, we can be aggressive during the draft. We can trade up the board. We can trade back on the board. Adam Peters, I trust him, bro. He's been around nothing but winning organizations. He was there when the Patriots were a dynasty. He was there when the Broncos acquired Peyton Manning and were winning Super Bowls and going to multiple Super Bowls. He was there building and constructing as the second lead man in San Francisco. He's been a part of nothing but winning franchises. So that type of guy actually leaving a stable situation like San Fran to come over here and run our franchise tells you that this opportunity means something to him, and he knows that's the situation. That's the perfect spot. They said it took a perfect situation for Adam Peters to leave the 49ers because he had a good thing going there. He was the assistant general manager and head football guy for the team he grew up rooting for. Adam Peters grew up as a San Francisco 49ers fan. He grew up rooting for that team, and he spent his whole life rooting for him, and he was the number 2 guy recruiting players for them. So, man, it's beautiful to have one of those here. This offseason, we have so much money, and we figured out our year one guy. Well, we haven't figured them out yet. We're only 1 month into the season. We got to see how health plays out. We got to see how production continues. We got some time. We still got some time. I know we're excited. We got to see how these guys play out through a year. But I think we're starting to establish who's going to be a part of this thing going forward, who's going to be a 1-year rental, who needs to be cut, released, traded, etc. Cheeseman was a 37 overall in Madden. What did Ron see in that guy? What did Ron see in a lot of what he did here, man? He didn't really have the foresight, the vision, or real plan. He was kind of just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what stuck. Like I don't necessarily see that there was really a plan here, but I'm trying not to keep taking shots at Ron. I'm trying to let him have it, man. I'm trying to let that man live in retirement and live in peace. He over at NFL Network now. If you really look, most times a great GM has an eye on it for an elite quarterback, but not for a great rest of the roster or vice versa, and rarely both. Usually GMs with great rosters lucks out with a great quarterback. Exactly. And you know what? Maybe, just maybe, after all the turmoil, after all the agony and all the pain we've been through for the last 25 years, just maybe the football gods have allowed Washington to achieve a GM that has an eye for both. Most important point, did Dan Snyder get a lifetime 10-mile ban around your stadium? I'm sure he is not allowed back to that stadium. He should have a lifetime restraining order. He should not be allowed within a 3-state minimum away from Northwest Federal Credit Union. Cliff got him. The man don't even wear a wristband. What it do, bro? You get that chair yet? The chair is on the way, Sean. It's on the way. I'm gonna get it when that next you see how YouTube pay works. It's one paycheck a month. That joint come around the 21st. Around the 21st, I'm gonna cop that joint. I'm going to cop that joint. I'm going to get that joint. I'm going to put that thing in, and I know exactly what chair I'm getting. The chair is coming. When you see a chair sitting behind me, a chair that actually got a back to it, you're going to know things changed. I appreciate you. We definitely getting that new computer chair in here. Beck and Sanders will be no more than average quarterbacks in this league. You never know. If they get drafted to the right situation with the right ecosystem around them, they could be good. I think Shedeur Sanders has a chance. I think Carson Beck has a chance if the right team drafted. JD5 grew up a 49ers fan also. Glad he's in the nation's capital. Shout out to former Niners fans, now Commanders. Adam Peters and Jayden Daniels. Rio, here is some Washington, Cleveland history. What do you know about Ernie Davis? Not much. Why don't you tell me about him? Listen, give me some facts because I'm not privy, and I'm not gonna pretend to know about something that I don't know about. Feels like McLuhan was our first taste, but they did him dirty. Yeah, they fired him, and per usual with a mass exodus in DC, we put him on a smear campaign on the way out. He's a drunk, he's an alcoholic again, and he's drinking on the job. Fucking Washington. Jay Gruden video. Oh my God, look at him. He's outside hitting a joint with a college girl and he's married. Scott McLuhan is a drunk. We always used to make guys look like pieces of shit on the way out. Scott McLuhan wanted to be the GM here, but Bruce Allen was the main guy. And as long as Dan Snyder had a henchman here in DC, we were never going to see what a real GM was like. We actually have a chance now. We knew Jayden is probably one of them ones. AP is also probably one of them ones. I know. And Josh Harris cares. And he's not Dan Snyder. So, boy, did we get it right. And it looked like we may have got it right with the coach as well and Dan Quinn because they believe and want to play hard for that guy. Now that we're good, do we accept the I mean, I've been accepted the name. I don't. That's on y'all. I'm too grown to care about the name of a football team. I'm sorry, that shit does not mean anything to me. You can call these niggas whatever you want to call them. Just win football games. Beck is not a franchise guy. Sanders will be elite if he gets his brain right and don't think. Yeah, if he doesn't be a coddled, spoiled silver spooner, Shador can be one of those guys. Drop a like. Yeah, smash that like. We got almost 400 in here. Y'all hit the like button for your boy. Heisman Trophy winning running back for the Browns. Got rare cancer and died. Oh my God. Rest in peace, Ernie Davis. Jesus, that got morbid as hell. That got morbid as hell. R.I.P. Ernie Davis. Jesus Christ. How do we feel if Dallas gets Adams? That would suck because that's a really good offense. They would still find a way to not win it all, but that would be spooky hours. It's already hard enough to guard CeeDee Lamb. That would be crazy. But Jerry Jones, frugal, cheap ass, even with the injuries at the receiver position that they currently have, his cheap ass only likes to spend money on the business side and not the football side. First overall pick will be Hunter, followed by Milroe and Shador Sanders. I think it depends on who gets the first pick, but Hunter's going very, very early. Am I the only one that noticed how Rex Ryan keeps downplaying JD5? Yeah, he is, but I'm not mad at people for saying I need to see more. It's only been 4 games, and while everybody in the world is absolutely glazing us and praising this franchise, I'm not upset with people saying I want to see more. I think it's a fair take, honestly. I'm not mad at people who aren't just on their knees for our quarterback yet. I feel you, though. You want everybody to be in on it. Ernie Davis was the Binghamton Express, was supposed to have been the guy after Jim Brown. Damn. Shout out to Jim Brown, by the way, since y'all talking about rookies winning MVPs. That's the only rookie of recent memory I know. Well, not recent. That was a long time ago. It's the only rookie to win the MVP of the league outright. I want to win. Can we be the Washington Concrete as long as we win? Exactly. Great movie on Ernie. I'll check it out because I love me a sports movie, man. I definitely love me a sports movie, so I'll definitely check it out. But it's still early in the process. We haven't done anything yet, but we should be excited. We should start to feel like there's a plan here, and the plan is slowly being executed on a weekly basis. It feels like the coach, the players are buying into what the coaches are saying. The coaches are accountable. They are honest. Like this tell the truth Monday shit that Dan Quinn does. I love that shit. He comes in the next day after watching the film and is completely transparent and honest with the media. It just feels right. Like how many teams, how many regimes, how many coaches, how many players have come here and we can't even say the right shit at the podium. Like we can't even win the press conference, nonetheless the games. Guys are creating stories and bulletin board materials during press conferences. We can't even win the weekly presser. How are we supposed to win on Sundays, right? Man, it just feels like a new time here in DC, and I think we all need to embrace that shit. The movie is called The Express. I'll definitely check it out. Pride of the Orangemen as well. Okay, so what was that? Syracuse? But I'll definitely check that out. But it's okay, guys. I know what trauma says. Trauma, PTSD, in our last 25 years of data says Washington lays an egg this Sunday versus Cleveland, and the proverbial trap game is going to catch up to us, and we look like dog shit. All I have to say to that is win the game. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care if it's 7-0, 7-3, or 10-7. Win the game on Sunday because this is a winnable game. And if you win this game, you have a shot this year. You have a shot this year. Our win total at Vegas was 5.5 going into the season, give or take. 5 wins, one more than we had last year. You guys realize if we win this game on Sunday, we will have already tied how many games we won last year throughout a 17-game season. Y'all realize if we win on Sunday, we'll be 4-1 for the first time in 16 years. We need this shit. And yes, I get it, y'all. I get it. It is always a letdown game in store. We haven't even put it all together in front of a home crowd yet. But I like our chances in this one, and I'm sticking with Washington 30-20 on this one. Only Davis was the first black player that the Washington Redskins drafted, but he didn't want to play for the Redskins. They traded him to Cleveland. Ooh, interesting. Yep, and it has to do with the owner at the time, correctly? The racist-ass owner that they had. That's it? Or is that around the same time span? George Preston Marshall, that's what we're talking about. It's ironic that Jayden plays for a team owned by Magic Johnson because Jayden Daniels is giving me young Magic Johnson vibes with his smile, how good he is early on. That Curry comparison was spot on as well. Magic Johnson, Showtime. This is the Showtime Commanders. Oh my God. If I ever see Magic come out and say Jayden Daniels looks like a young me, this is the Showtime Commanders. Where are you getting that JD5 jersey? When are you getting it? Soon. I may get me one for my birthday. If they still got the black ones at FedEx, I might have to tell my boy Jayden, I might have to throw him a cash app and say, go ahead and throw me one of those on there with your season ticket discount because I need that black JD5. I don't have a black jersey yet, so definitely need one of those. Yep, George Preston Marshall, that motherfucker. AP and Dan Quinn will not tolerate us underperforming. These dudes are not fucking around. Y'all remember, Commander Lorian, great point. Y'all remember after week 1, Lake came on the channel and said Adam Peters was fuming on the sidelines and near the tunnel. And I like that because he wasn't tripping that we lost the game. We lost to a much better football team. He was tripping because the effort. Guys were not playing with effort. Guys were giving up. Guys were huffing and puffing, and they let a game that we were losing get to them mentally. We haven't seen that since week 1, so that is a good sign. But, man, yep, and that's how we got Bobby Mitchell correctly. Shout out to him. My dad got a Bobby Mitchell jersey. But this feels good, man. It feels like we should start believing. We should stop looking at the past. Joe Witt Jr. too. The accountability these guys have, I cannot stress to you anymore. This feels so different than what we're used to. And I don't want to keep hearing, I've seen this before. We're going to falter. We're going to collapse. Like, no. We haven't seen life without Dan Snyder in the last 25 years. We have not seen an ecosystem or foundation put around a young quarterback or a coaching staff to thrive. We haven't seen it, man. If you don't perform, Magic will kick ass. That I can tell you. You don't need Quinn for that, but we got them all. And I love it. That's accountability. Nothing feels better than seeing Magic Johnson's AI-ass tweets hit the timeline after a Commanders game. The Washington Commanders, we looked excellent today in our defeat of the Arizona Cardinals 42-14 from State Farm Stadium. Jayden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury in the Washington. Yo, that shit is so AI. Who is doing these tweets for Magic Johnson? I've always wanted to know that because I've always watched them tweet after Dodgers games and after Lakers game and now after Commanders game. Who tweets for Magic? Because Magic is not tweeting for himself. That shit is written in Times New Roman. That shit is so AI generated. That shit is hilarious, yo. Every time Magic tweet, that shit gets me geeked up. I don't know why fans can't live in the moment, can enjoy it. We've been dumpster juice for 23 years. I know at some point things got to change, right? Things got to change at some point, right? We got to believe. And if we can't believe we can beat a team like Cleveland on Sunday, what can we actually believe in going forward? For 28's number retirement, should they bring those 70th anniversary jerseys back? I mean, they can't do that. That has to be something that was originally planned with the league. Unfortunately, it's not something that you can just bring out in the middle of the season unless they already had it planned. I don't believe that's something they could do, but it would be cool if they do something to honor Daryl Green. It'd be cool as shit if we could wear fucking 28 patches, because that's possibly the best player that ever played for this franchise. Daryl Green is one of them ones. So I don't think they could just pull back new uniforms out of nowhere. I believe the only alteration to your uniform schedule is that you can add your alternate jerseys for a third game as long as you let the NFL know within a week or two before the game. So we're wearing our alternates twice this year. We're allowed to wear them for an additional third game. Nah, I'm not gonna lie though. The Magic AI sounds like a good brand. It does. Magic Johnson AI, Magic AI, it definitely do. Can you imagine if AP has another draft like that? And that's his first draft. Who's not to say he's gonna have a better draft? Honestly, it's hard to quantify when you get your franchise quarterback in one. But what if he can draft much better? This was his first draft here. He's still wet behind the ears as a GM, and he's still dealing with what was already inherited from the rosters that predated him. So who's to say that Adam Peters doesn't draft better going forward? But I think we're in for a treat. I'm not afraid of anyone on our schedule with JD5, with a established quarterback, with a difference maker, with a quarterback that can do and check all of the boxes. You have a shot against anybody in the league. I remember all 3 Super Bowls. We are so overdue to be great again. We're so overdue. I was talking about this the other day. I'm not ready to stamp it as a prediction per se, but we have the longest drought in the league of winning 11 games. We have the longest. Every fucking team in this league has won 11 games at some point in the last 32, almost 33 years. My birth year, 1991, is the last time this team won 11 games. And I've seen the Jags do it. I've seen the Browns do it. I've seen the Lions do it. I've seen, name your shitty NFL franchise, and they have won 11 games. The Cardinals have won 11 games. Every team in the league has won 11 games since 1991, except our Washington Redskins football team, Commanders. At some point, it's our turn, right? At some point, it's our turn, right? I don't want to put those type of expectations on a rookie GM, a rookie quarterback in a new situation here. But how fucking poetic justice and karma-like would it be that our first true year without Daniel Snyder, our first true year with Josh Harris's vision as an owner of this team, that the 11-year drought was to come this season? Oh, it would be amazing. It would be amazing. I will let you know who is worth a draft pick. I'm your man in college. Oh, yeah, you know college ball, man. Let me know. Let me know. Okay, so we know about Will Johnson. Since you're the college guy, we know about Will Johnson. And there's another corner I have my eyes on. I have a short list in my phone of corners to look out for. What corners should we be looking at if Washington is in or around the playoff picture? Let's say Washington's picking somewhere 17 through 22. 17 through 22. What cornerback should Washington have an eye on? Let me know what first caliber cornerbacks. I like the corner from Ohio State. We love Will Johnson. What other cornerback should Washington have their eyes on in the draft? Let me know, because I'm all ears. I am all ears because I need one of them things here. I need one of them things here. Oh, so that tweet y'all were talking about was Devontae Adams posted a picture of Edgar Allan Poe, which would signal Baltimore Ravens on his story. Is he saying he wants to go there? Sure as that. Sure as that. Hell yeah, man. Seeing Sam Cosmi mic'd up against the Cardinals and saying, I'm looking at a tweet that says, it's nice having Jayden Daniels. This is so much fun. I haven't had fun like this in a long time. I love it, man. I love to see that. Edgar Allan Poe. That's interesting. Denzel Burke. Yeah, I like Denzel Burke from Ohio State. Love that guy. Gibbs 2.0. I remember this season vividly. Our last playoff win was versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2005. That turns 20 years old coming up in January. Our last playoff win turns 20 years old coming up in January. Good Lord. We're due. Oh, so they got two of them things in Ohio State. Yeah, the other corner's good too. The ECU guy, I'm hip. Terry is this generation Santana Moss. I wish 89 could have had a quarterback. 89 a different breed, man. 89 was out here with Mark Brunell, with Campbell. 89 was out here putting up 1,400, bruh. 89 was a different breed, man. Gary Clark said even before they left the locker room, they knew they were going to win. They had to keep that same energy. I love it. It's a feeling. It's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. 2005 was lit too because every time we've ever made the playoffs, it was off a winning streak. We've never seen this team just be good throughout the year. Even in that Joe Gibbs season, we were 5-6 and won 5 in a row to close the season. I remember Sean Taylor diving into the end zone, God rest his soul, to clinch the playoff berth at 10-6. In the end zone, in the link at Philadelphia, man. Good times. But that was fucking 20 years ago, y'all. It is time. Jason Marshall, Florida. I know about Travis Hunter, Will Johnson, Denzel Burke, Ohio State. Bring back Rivera. I miss the old days of turning on the TV to watch us lose. Y'all too happy. Bring the old days back. This must be a fan of somebody else. This can't be a Washington fan. This can't be a Washington fan. I love it, man. It's only up from here. And that's the only way we should feel right now. It is the only way. I'm with it. Whoever Adam Johnson. I'm with whoever Adam Peters picks as well. Let him cook. And everything ain't gonna be a hit. You can't hit on every one of your picks, but I trust the guy doing it. Can I be your stream water boy internship? Of course. We ain't exactly looking for one right now, but I'm here for it. It sounds like the team has been all downhill since you were born. I know. Sometimes I look and like, is it me? Is it my fault that the team is losing? I came on this earth to a Lombardi, and it's been all down ever since I was born. Man, Sean Taylor on that fumble recovery, that shit was magical, man. It was magical. I don't think we should pigeonhole positions like in the first round, we got to go corner. Second round, we need to go tackle. Third round, we need to go receiver. I don't think it's as simple as that. And Adam Peters already showed you that's not how it works. Look at when we took Johnny Newton in the second round. But there's a loaded class at a few positions. Bring back the Rivera era. You can have that. We up now. I like Travis Hunter from Colorado and Will Johnson from Michigan and Benjamin Morris from Notre Dame. Just know that if we want a chance at either of those guys, if we continue to win, we're going to have to trade up, significantly up. And if you like a guy, go for it. Siobhan Ravel, yeah, another tall one. The ECU, the 6'3", yeah. That's the corner I'm hearing a lot about. Clearly a joke, guys. Come on. I mean, some people like to live and bask in the negativity. Some people, they thrive off of it. Some people are get off my lawn. I don't want to see success type people. So you never know. You could have been for real. Maxwell Hairston, the Kentucky corner, ran a below 4.5 and is also a solid lockdown cornerback and didn't allow anything against Georgia. Yeah, they should have won that game. If they decided to not be pussy and attack success, they might have won that football game. But they punted the ball back to Georgia like some hoes. And, of course, they didn't get the ball back with a chance to win that game. Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog. Rio, I feel so good that I'm going out on a limb. We will be 4-1, and we will win the NFC East with Ooh, Troy getting super spicy on a Friday afternoon. I love to hear that there is hella sugar in the Washington Commanders Kool-Aid right now. Do you think we will ever have a left tackle like Trent Williams here again? Trent Williams is a Hall of Famer, so I can't say for sure we'll find another one of those. But if we can find, if Brandon Coleman can be a solid, reliable, and dependable starter, I'll take it. First round, first ballot Hall of Fame left tackles, those don't grow on trees. So it's very hard for me to say we'll have another one of those again. But if we can have a reliable starter and not have to worry about that position for 5-7 years down the line, I'll take it. I'll take it. Maxwell will be later in the draft too. We definitely got to find some corners, man. What's your history with the team? How did I become a fan? I didn't really have a choice. I was born into the fandom in 91. My dad was a diehard team, and my mother, God rest her soul, she loved the team my father loved. They bonded through it, and she supported his diehard fandom. My parents used to attend the parades. I got little pictures, little Polaroid pictures of them in front of the Super Bowl trophies, coming home from the parades, all that shit. So I never really had a choice in the matter. It was burgundy and gold instilled in my bloodline from the second that I came onto this earth. I started playing football in 1997. I was 6 years old. About 3 years into it, 1999, I finally understood the sport for the first time, and I fell in love with watching NFL football, watching the 1999 Redskins, who went 10-6 and had a top 3 to 5 offense in the league. Brad Johnson, Stephen Davis and company. Them boys got busy. I watched us win a playoff game versus the Lions, and I was like, this is amazing. So not only was I playing the sport, I had fell in love with watching the sport. And and I didn't have a choice in the matter. I've loved them ever since. I've supported them through all of it. I watched us miss a potential field goal that would have sent us to the NFC Championship. And I'm like, Dad, we lost. This hurts, but it feels like we like a really good football team. And boy, was 8-year-old Mario wrong as hell, because little did I know Dan Snyder was going to sink this team lower into the purgatory of hell for the next 25 years. But it took that to get us to where we are today in 2024. And I've loved that team ever since. My son is even excited to watch it. Like, I promised that I was never going to force my fandom or my passions on my children. So I didn't really ever make my son watch football with me on Sunday. I let him do his own thing. He wants to go play PlayStation and PC game with his boys. He plays soccer. He does a lot of things. He's finally into it. He's already asked for Jayden Daniels jersey, so he got one coming, especially as long as he's doing well in school. That's all that matters to me. But I didn't have a choice in the fandom. This life chose me. This sickness chose me, and I bleed it, and I'm obsessed about it. And here we are in 2024. I'm full-time talking about my favorite football team and sharing a community with the rest of you. Yo, everything Gambit said in Deadpool and Wolverine was hilarious. Rio shout out his daddy's dick a fan like Gambit. Everything Channing Tatum said in that movie was hilarious. And that Cajun accent, that shit was funny as hell. Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here. Yeah, I seen it. I seen the subliminal. He posted a picture of Edgar Allan Poe. That's the world we live in now, y'all. Players handle and leverage their situations through social media. So players are going to post subliminal tweets. They're going to post subliminal story posts, and they're going to clear out their Instagram. They're going to take out all their pictures wearing the jersey of the team they currently play for. That's the new rollout for I'm trying to get up out of here. Fight song all day Sunday. Let's pack that stadium. Hell yeah. Can't wait for your younger guys to experience the Super Bowl when we were able to skip school and watch the pro. We won the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl. At minimum, my son is with me at the parade. My daughter, she a little younger. You can go to school, baby girl. But my son, his ass going to be front and center with me. We're going to be out that joint standing like a Black Friday doorbuster sale, just waiting for the parade to begin. Shit, I might be waiting at Dulles for the team to arrive if they win the Super Bowl. No, I won't be waiting at Dulles because I'll probably be streaming for 24 hours if they ever win the Super Bowl. I'm on my best Kai Cenat bullshit if we win the Super Bowl. On God. I'll be at the game Sunday. Hopefully those black jerseys are available. There were still a decent-ish amount at the store yesterday. Just to let y'all know, the team store at the stadium is open like an operational store. You can go any day during the week and go get a jersey. I believe the store closes at about 4:30 to 5 Eastern Standard. Them jerseys may be gone by the time that game starts, but Jaylen said there was a good amount of people in there buying them yesterday, but there should be some left for that black jersey. Played your first game in 75 at 6 years old. Woo! Woo! My man Rob aging himself out here. Love that. The game was a very different game back then. Did y'all have face masks yet, Rob? No, I'm just fucking with you, man. My dad made me sit down and watch football with him when I was 7, which was in 2005. Watched every game ever since. That's how it usually is. Calling it a sickness is hilarious. Hell yeah, they brought us the cure. It's definitely a sickness, though, because win, lose, or draw, we're obsessed with this stupid-ass football team. This team controls our emotions. Like, it affects our lives at work. It affects our lives with our friendships. That shit affects our mental health. Adams can wait until after the Commanders-Ravens game. Fuck it, let them bring them on. We want the smoke. I want to see what we look like versus Super Bowl contender. Fuck it. I'll be at the game this weekend. We're about to steamroll the Brownies. The Brownies! What up, Josh? How we doing today? DQ with the glasses, dangerous. Yep, DQ with his readers on. Scary man. Hat to the back, glasses on. Dan Quinn, we are wearing burgundy tops. It's not confirmed yet, but I imagine it's gold bottoms as well. But burgundy tops are confirmed. Burgundy jerseys. Ain't Baltimore the DMV? Come on, Dad. Nah. Baltimore is not the DMV. We do not. For those that are in the DMV is DC, Maryland, not Baltimore, but Maryland, not up north Baltimore, up north Maryland. We don't consider Virginia south of like Woodbridge and Stafford, Fredericksburg, or the I mean, you can, but we don't consider Baltimore part of the DMV. That's a real interesting argument how they cut up the DMV and distinguish between the tri-state area. But we haven't faced an elite tight end yet, so I'm scared how our defense would do versus Njoku. Njoku is good. I don't know if I would call him an elite tight end, but he is really good. Let's hope we keep dodging the injury bug. Absolutely. I don't even want to talk about injuries. I just can't believe we got one of them ones at quarterback. Let's believe it, baby. Let's believe it, baby. DMV is everything the Metro touches. Yep. If the Metro bus or the retro or the Metro rail goes there, it's the DMV. There we go. That's the best way I've ever heard it. Baltimore, people don't like to consider Baltimore part of the DMV. It's in Maryland, but we don't like to consider it that. Prince just broke it down as best as you could do it. If the Metro goes there, it's the DMV. These power rankings got me feeling crazy. Now imagine this. Let's spell it out. I was looking last night at the current standings. Let me see if I can find a picture of that shit. Let me see if I can find a picture of it because, man, I was looking at the standings across the NFL right now, and boy, oh boy. Let me find it. I tweet a lot of bullshit. So let me go through my bullshit ass post. Look at this shit here. Will you look at here? Will you fucking look at here? Look at the standings look at the standings in the NFC right now in the conference. Look at this shit here. Look at this. The number one team in the conference is the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota motherfucking Vikings. B-Rob put a thumbs up on Instagram or on Twitter, and he's a game time decision. That boy's going to play. We are number 2 in the NFC. If we win on Sunday and the Vikings lose to the Jets at 9:30 a.m., we are the best team in the NFC through 5 weeks of the season. Look at this. When you look at this shit here, if Aaron Rodgers, we're gonna be rooting hard for. I might have to get up and start my watch party at 9:30 because we're not only watching for us. If the Jets lose to the motherfucking, if the Jets beat the Vikings, we are number one in the NFC. I pull for my boy Kirk. I always will. I don't care what fans say. I like Kirk Cousins. I'm from Jersey. Do you pronounce it Baltimore or Baltimore? Baltimore. You can pronounce it however you. I call it Be More. Can y'all see this message? Absolutely, Billy. I can see the message. They didn't have anterior cruciate ligaments when I played. Wasn't a thing. There wasn't no such thing as an ACL. ACLs didn't exist. Now you pretty much gotta get a new ACL to start. You might as well come out the womb and ask for an ACL surgery the way the ACL is ripped now. Pittsburgh they're gonna beat Dallas. I hope so. If it comes to a shootout, Pittsburgh's gonna lose. But if they make it an ugly game with that elite defense, Dallas may not be able to handle that. It is such a strange feeling having to look up instead of down to check our team name in the standing. Look at that. Look at the conference standings right now. Look at this shit here. If the Vikings lose and we win on Sunday, Washington is sitting atop the conference. Talk to us nice. Or we're at minimum tied for the top of the conference. And it's still early in the season, but I'll take it. Baltimore. You got the Vapor Untouchable Elite jersey and it's fire. It's the custom one with the cup. Yeah. All that. Hell yeah. Oh, you got the Authentica. Hell yeah. That's the jersey to get. I don't like to buy jerseys much. So usually if I'm going to buy a jersey, I'm going to customize an Elite Untouchable. They're more expensive, but when you catch it with the 25% off, I'd rather pay the $260, $270 for an authentic jersey and never need another one, usually with my name on the back, than to pay like $140 for a screen print jersey. But that's me personally. Them joints is elite. They're such good quality. My boy Cooley got a custom one with his name on the back for all three colors, and them shits look fucking amazing. Those are the ones they wear on the field. As a lifetime Skins fan, born and raised in the BX, I need a series sweep against the Giants. Born in the Bronx. This is a real winnable month. We have a chance to get to a high seed. Forget just making the playoff. I like the vibes. Let's get the first one first, and let's look like we belong versus the Ravens. You know, we were power ranked at 29th to start the season. You love that shit. We love that shit. Hey, chat, who are the captains? I got you. Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chin are your captains this week. Jayden Daniels on the offensive side of the ball, Dorrance Armstrong for defense, while Jeremy Chin is our starting safety. Maybe he's the special teams captain, or maybe they're just picking three captains at random, but each week so far has been an offensive, defensive, and special teams captain. Absolutely. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than Kirk Cousins, played more years than Kirk Cousins, been to more playoffs than Kirk Cousins. That's a lot of Kirk Cousins made more money. That's a lot of word soup right there. Whole lot of word soup. But I'm ready to go, y'all. You know I'm ready to go. You know I'm hyped. You know I'm feeling good on a Friday afternoon. We are 2 hours into a stream. Let me see. Sven said, well, I'm still mad you didn't take Charles Cross. He is the best O-lineman in all of football. I did like Charles Cross coming out. But you got to understand, when you got Ron Rivera making the draft picks, not too much to be expected there. Dare I say anymore? Should we go all in on Adams? Or we can do whatever Adam Peters wants to. I'm with whatever. If they go for it, I'm with it. If they don't go for it, I'm with it. If they sell someone on the roster, I'm with it. They can do whatever. Yep, Chin's the special teams captain. Okay, I didn't peep the full press conference. Thank you for that information, Chanel. So correct. Jeremy Chin is your special teams captain. Dorrance Armstrong coming off a 2, but technically 1.5 sack week is your defensive captain. And our quarterback, our superstar, the number 1 jersey sell in the league quarterback, Jayden Daniels, is currently your offensive captain, coming off a week where he was selected to be the rookie of the month, the rookie of the week, the Nickelodeon MVP, the FedEx Aaron Ground player of the week. the offensive player of the week, 3-time rookie of the week. That boy's trophy case is so full, you might as well keep that belt for rookie of the week here. Sweet Chin Music, yes, sir. My favorite wrestler of all time was Shawn Michaels, HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, by the way. So Sweet Chin Music, every time I hear it, it gets me hyped. Don't sign any wide receiver this year. There's some real ones coming out of the draft. Be patient. Rome was not built in one night, and this is very true. I'm with whatever the case is. If they decide to go all in right now and add another superstar to elite piece of the offense, sure. If they don't, I'm cool with it regardless. It is a very good, top heavy-ish, but it's a pretty good wide receiver class next year. Back in the day, blowing out a knee was literally life-changing, like Boobie Miles and Friday. Oh, man. I remember how emotional it got me watching Friday Night Lights for the first time when he went to see that doctor. He started snapping at the doctor like it was his fault. You must be from Midland. You went to Midland, didn't you? The Midland Bows, they sent you. They sent you. You don't want to see Boobie spin. You don't want to see Boobie shine. Oh, my God. Derek Luke played the shit out of that role, boy. Derek Luke played the shit. And shout out to my boy, the famous Jet Jackson that played the other running back in that movie. R.I.P., by the way. Man. R.I.P. to the legend. If we stack free agents, would you draft the Boise State running back as a luxury pick? We never would, but Austin Genty is a fucking dog. Whatever Adam Peters wants to do in April, he can do. And I'm not going to question it, bro. I'm not going to question it. I miss Montez Sweat. I miss what he could have, the potential of what he could have been, but we're going to shake back. I like the draft picks we got for Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Don't miss either. We're lit as fuck. Montez Sweat is playing good football, but, I mean, he's not lighting the world on fire in Chicago right now, and that team looks, yeah. We lit as fuck. 419 on a live stream talking about weekly captains at 2 p.m. on a Friday. The fan base is all the way back. Let us fuck around. No, let us be irrelevant in December. It's going to be crazy. Honestly, I'm not even going to hold you. I don't even want to go there. I don't even want – what's Jayden's ceiling? Don't know, but I'm here for it, and I want to find out. Let's see, because the early returns look good. The early Lee Thompson Young, RIP Lee Thompson Young, who played the famous Jet Jackson and the other running back in the Friday Night Lights. Shout out to Lee Thompson Young, another life lost far too soon. I don't even want to know what his ceiling is, but I think it's untapped. It's uncapped, and his ceiling is best quarterback in the NFC East and in this conference one day. I'll go there. I won't go any further. We're better than the Vikings too. Not yet. Not yet. Have you watched Brian Flores coach that defense and Sam Darnold run that offense right now? They're the best team in the NFL right now. We're not better than the Minnesota Vikings right now. I feel you with the burgundy Kool-Aid. We could probably hang with the Minnesota Vikings if we were to meet them in a playoff game, but that is elite coaching over there. That is elite coaching and execution. Brian Flores coaching that defense like he wants another job in this league. Kevin O'Connell got Sam Darnold looking like a franchise quarterback. No, they drafted a first-round quarterback, lost him for the season. Business as usual with Sam Darnold, the Red Rocket, who has been bust adjacent throughout his career since being drafted in 2018. He's finally looking like the guy he was drafted to be out of USC back in 2018. We could probably hang with him, but fuck no, we're not better than the Vikings right now. Commanders are the best team in the NFC, period. I think we're not there yet, y'all. We're putting the cart a little bit ahead of the horse. I think we have a chance to make it interesting in this conference, but the Vikings are y'all aren't watching the Vikings. Y'all are literally just saying that. Go watch the Vikings condensed games. I've seen them. That team is executing on both sides of the ball on a level Washington hasn't even hinted at yet, especially on defense. That defense is so fucking good. That defense is so fucking good. Go watch them boys. And they had CJ Stroud and Jordan Love in the fucking Matrix, bro. Nah, bro. We're not playing better than them right now. He was terrible first year at LSU. He wasn't terrible his first year. He just wasn't good necessarily. He was average. He was mid. He probably goes undrafted or a late round pick if he comes out his first year. Rio, stop watching or nothing. I mean, I hear you, but that's a lazy way of looking at it, though. You know, I'm gonna be objective first. Love this football team, Big homer energy, love it, but I'm gonna call it what it is. We're not better than the Minnesota Vikings right now. Love it though. It's still suing the NFL for racial discrimination. Going to be hard to get a head coaching job. That is a tough point. So he got to go crazy as a defensive captain right now, as a defensive coordinator right now. We got Friday injury updates. Yes, sir. So Austin Ekeler is playing. Brian Robinson, game time decision. Noah Brown is out. Cleveland Farrell is out. And there was a couple Browns players. I think David Njoku is a game time decision. Austin Ekeler has been cleared from the concussion protocol. Jordan McGee, Marcus Mariota, and F.A. Obata. The team's going to decide over the weekend whether or not those guys are going to play this weekend. And Nick Chubb is not playing this week for the Cleveland Browns. So that's as far as I'm concerned so far. Just imagine if we had two elite receivers like Gasar. Yeah, I know. And that's why I laugh at people who say shit like, we should not want a diva like Devontae Adams. CJ Stroud and Jordan Love are not better than – come on, man. Jayden's played 4 games, man. Come on, we can't be homers. I know we're excited. I love Jayden Daniels and what he's doing right now. CJ Stroud won a playoff game last year. Jordan Love won a playoff game last year. We can't do that. See, this is the thing. This is the thing where I like to cut in between of blind homerism and being a pessimist and too negative. I like to sit right in between that. I feel you, Tony. I hear you. I love it, but he not Stroud or Love yet. He got more football to be played. Jordan Love threw for 4,030 touchdowns last year. CJ Stroud went for 23-4 and over 4,000 yards despite missing 2 games in his rookie year and won a playoff game. We haven't got there yet. We've only played a month of football. We're not there yet. We're not in the We're not the MVP yet. We're not the best team in the conference yet. We're not the best team in the league yet. I hear you. I feel the excitement, and I think we're building towards putting that type of shit on tape, but we're not there yet, baby. We're not there yet. I hear you, though. Year 4 and 5 at LSU was the first time JD had the same OC in back-to-back years, and that matters. Hell yeah. Continuity, that VR training, and them weapons he had over there. Rio is the real points leader in the division. Ekeler, good to see you back. We need him. We need that boy. Wait till we get back McGee, Farrell, and F.A. Obata. That will take our pass rush into another level. Also, Cleveland Farrell is all right. We don't know what Jordan McGee is, and he's going to need some time to adjust to the NFL. And F.A. Obata is a solid pass rusher. That's not going to make us the 85 Bears, but it will help. It will definitely help. That does not mean we're going to be the Minnesota Vikings defense when they come back. We're going to win a division and get a playoff win. I think it's possible. None of that should be a guarantee at this point of the season. It is still very, very early. We can't overreact. You see what happened to the Saints already? It's not even about overreact. We should be optimists. We should be positive about what this team is putting on tape and the promise of our young quarterback, but we can't be blind. We can't be blind homers. We can't be so excited that we don't watch the rest of the league. If you've watched what the Vikings put on tape this year, you would never say that we're playing better than the Vikings right now. Offensively, we're playing as well as anyone in the league, but collectively, it's the Vikings because that defense is playing just as well as their offense. Sam Darnold has 11 touchdowns. That defense is putting motherfuckers in the gulag on a weekly basis, man. Let us get a winning season and JD play for playoff games. I'm good with that this year. We'll see. I think we're building toward it, man. Do you think they will ever utilize Owens in the pass rush? I think at some point he will find his way in the rotation in the defense, but for now, he's young. I hope he's recovering. He hurt his shin on Sunday. I hope he's good, but early on, he's probably only going to see the field as an undrafted defensive player. He's probably only going to see the field in special teams for quite some time, unless someone really plays bad or gets hurt. Don't want to be Minnesota, just a great command. I don't want to be them. I'm just calling it what it is. And realistically speaking, they're the best team in the NFL right now. Beat the Cowgirls twice and I'm good. That's a big ask. Sweeping the Cowboys, that's a big ask, but I think we got a shot. We ain't done nothing yet. Exactly. We still got a lot to prove, We still got a lot to prove. I'm very excited though, and I think our season can be a lot more than what I anticipated going into the season. But I'm not too ready to talk too crazy yet. But if we continue to stack wins, if our quarterback continues to knock down barriers, Commanders command nothing. Yeah, fuck out of here. We on the way up. We on the come up. We on the come up. Say what you want. We on the come up for sure. Tom Brady has more accolades than Kirk Cousins, but Cousins made more money. That's just the business of the league, and nobody should be mad at a person like Kirk Cousins for maximizing their situation. Smash that like button. We got over 418 in the chat. Smash it. I'm just glad we got rid of Dan Snyder. Exactly. And so anybody who thinks this is same old Washington, absolutely fucking not. How we feeling Forbes versus Judy? We shall see. Jerry Jeudy has had the drops ever since he got to the NFL, but I think our pass rush is going to help the coverage out this week. The Browns are giving up the most or second most pressure in the league. Deshaun Watson has been hit 49 times in 4 games. 49 times. I believe the Giants sacked this man like 7 times a couple weeks ago. The Giants. And they beat them. I think we got him. Oh, he's a Cowboys fan. Nobody worry about you niggas right now. Y'all might go 3-4 over your next 7 games. Y'all got a lot to worry about. Y'all don't even need to be looking over here right now. Y'all whole team on the injury list, and y'all got a 7-game slate from hell. Y'all about to go 3-4 over the next 7 games and be barely in the playoff picture. We don't even need to talk to y'all right now. Y'all need to handle y'all own business. Y'all need to get healthy. Get them boys out the emergency room and talk to us when y'all shake back. We ain't worried about y'all right now. Let's wait till we play the Ravens, that we can reevaluate. We definitely have a shot to win. Let's 1 week at a time. We always want Dallas. We're not worried about Dallas right now. Dallas need to get healthy. Dallas need to go get healthy. We'll give y'all Mike Zenner for Dan Quinn. Now, Dan Quinn cool where he at. Hat to the back, reading glasses. Dan Quinn, he cool where he at. You don't got to play for stupid-ass Jerry Jones. You don't got to coach under dumbass Jerry Jones no more. We don't want Mike Zimmer. I'm ready for the offseason. This still in it. What, you're ready for the offseason? You're bugging. I'm not ready for the offseason. I want to watch 13 more weeks of Jayden Daniels. You're fucking bugging. Fuck the offseason. We're in season right now. We're watching the most fun offense we've ever had in the last 25 years. Fucking offseason. We'll get there when we get there. Quite I'm reaching, but I feel like the Commanders are better than the Vikings. They're not. They're not better than the Vikings right now. Y'all are saying this because y'all haven't watched the Vikings, because if you watched them, you wouldn't be saying this. We're not worried about Dallas right now, bro. Even your podcast defensive player captain sees that Jayden Daniels is a problem. Him and Darius Slay on their podcast talking about my quarterback. They're not talking about y'all bitch-ass quarterback right now. That could never have. Oh, my God. This nigga, the Bears TV. Not comparing the two, but RG3's rookie season, they went 5-1 in the division. They believe it was different. Yeah, different situation. Different situation. But yes, we did go 5-1 in the division that year. The Eagles and Cowboys right now are better than they were at the time. It takes to fuck the offseason from here. It does, but fuck it. Did you watch the mic'd up? Oh, yeah, I did. They're having the most fun. Sam Cosby on the sideline said, I'm having the most fun I've ever had since I've been in this league and playing for this team. Everybody boo Victor. Everybody boo Victor in the Dallas Cowboys. Boo. Boo Victor. Fuck Dallas. Y'all got a lot more to worry about than the Commanders. Where y'all content creators at over there? Y'all hop in their stream and pray for the health of your players, because y'all over there hurt as hell right now. Y'all won, but y'all lost versus them. Y'all won, but y'all lost. Y'all won, but y'all lost versus the Giants. DeMarcus Lawrence, Brandon Cooks, Micah Parsons, Trevon Diggs. Y'all boys hurt as hell over there right now. I'm going to call it right now. 5-1 going into the Panthers. Ooh, one at a time, but Lord Jesus, man. Lord Jesus. After we're 7-1, can't see the reaction and the change of comments, because after 7-1, that means you beat the Browns. That means you beat the Ravens. That means you beat the Panthers and the Bears. Wouldn't you expect a change of comments with given new data? We can't be so close-minded as fans because that doesn't make sense. Why would we be talking the same at 3-1 that we'd be talking at 7-1? This team hasn't had a 7-1 start in like in my entire life. So why would we be talking the same, you know? There's a fine line between delusional and bias. We're not better than the Vikings yet. People got to stop. We're not. We're not right now. We're not right now better than them. We're not. And I'm going to call it, bro, just watch them. Go if you got NFL Plus, put on the highlight reel on YouTube. Watch the condensed version on NFL Plus if you got the app. They'll show you the entire game in about 23 minutes. It cuts all the commercials, timeouts, all that out the game. Watch the Vikings condensed cuts. I watched them. Nobody in the league's playing better than motherfuckers right now. Nobody. Not the Chiefs. Nobody. Hypothetical. I know we can't believe this is happening, but if this team wins nearly every game until the trade deadline, why wouldn't GM start making aggressive moves? Hard to believe. I'm with it regardless. If they want to be aggressive at the deadline, go for it. If they want to be sellers at the deadline, go for it. I'm giving Adam Peters full reins to do whatever the fuck he would like to because I trust the process of the decision makers here. I appreciate you. If you think Washington hasn't improved, you're fucking delusional. Yeah, Washington has improved significantly. We look great. If you don't see the improvement, you're lying to yourself. Are we better than Minnesota right now? No, we're not, but we're only 4 weeks into the season, and let's see how we look versus a Cleveland Browns defense and the Baltimore Ravens next week before we start making assertions and astute observations such as that. Allen for Higgins, even it don't work like that. It don't work like that, y'all. This ain't Madden. This ain't Madden. They're not giving us T. Higgins for Jonathan Allen, y'all. Like, what? We gotta chill out with that shit, bro. It don't work like that, y'all. What's going on, man? What's going on, David? If y'all just pulling up to the stream, we're just kicking it right now. The week 5 captains for this week's home game versus the Cleveland Browns are Jayden Daniels on the offensive side of the ball, Jeremy Chin for special teams, and Dorrance Armstrong, edge rusher, coming off a 1.5 sack performance. Those are your 3 captains for the week. Injury-wise, Noah Brown, receiver, out. Cleveland Farrell, out. Austin Ekeler, back. Brian Robinson Jr., game time decision, but he put a thumbs up on Twitter like, I'm good. And if you heard him on B. Mitch and Finley's radio show on 106.7 The Fan yesterday, he said he's good to go. But it appears that Washington may also be activating Jordan McGee, Marcus Mariota, and or F.A. Obata. They're making it a weekend game time type decision for those who just had their window of availability open back up. Washington has a 3-week window to activate one of those 3, or they will be on season-ending IR for the rest of the season. That is your current injury report and captain's report for the Washington Commanders. I almost forgot Tress Way is a Pro Bowl punter, and that's good. Tress Way has punted, 700 times since he's been here in Washington. That boy has put in so much work. I'm exaggerating, but he's punted so many times. He deserves to just sit on the sideline, eat food, and kick it with the special teams unit. We have weapons on offense. You don't have an 82.1 passer rating without weapons. We have an efficient offense, and we have a phenomenal orchestrator of the offense in Cliff Kingsbury, who understands what Washington has. He understands what we do have. He understands what we don't have, and he makes it work. And that shit is beautiful. Future commander Michael Parsons called JD5 another threat in the division. Yep. You hear that, Victor? You watch your boy Parsons podcast? He had Darius Slay on there, and they was on there like, man, I can't believe it, man. We got another threat in the division. So the Eagles and the Cowboys, they see what's good. Jalen Hurts can't throw a fucking stone into the ocean right now. And the Cowboys' whole team is hurt, and they don't got a running game to save their fucking life. They could use a running back. Our 3rd running back is better than their 1st running back. Jeremy McNichols is better than Rico Dowdle. They got old man, fat boy Zeke Elliott and Rico Dowdle running the ball for that team. There's no balance. It's just Dak Prescott or die, and that is not a formula for them to get back to another 12-win season, and we love it. We love to see it. Obata's play. I'm going to keep it a whole buck with you. F.A. Obata was as effective as Chase Young and them was when they was here. F.A. Obata was as productive when he was here. That boy had a better pass rush plan, if not on the same level as both him and Sweat. So he will definitely add to the mix. We're going to beat the Ravens 1 week at a time, but I like the way you're thinking. I like the way your mind works. Tress be reading Moby Dick on the bench like shit. Like shit. This what I hate about non-football smokesmen. What makes you think a QB can succeed without a great system? There are obviously a couple alien examples that can thrive without it, but most of the great quarterbacks in the history of the game are paired up with a great system. That is a great point. KJ Henry greater than Efe Obada? Not necessarily. I would say equal sign Efe Obada. Equal sign. Efe Obada was more effective here than KJ Henry was in his 1 year here. Let's pull up Efe Obada. Let's pull up Efe Obada's career stats because I will debunk this right now. KJ Henry is just now really getting to the active roster in week 5 of the NFL season. Oh, nope, we're not even going to talk about KJ Henry anymore. Efe Obada, 4 sacks in 2022 with Washington. Conversation over. Already more effective. And I can see his pass rush plan. He rushes with a high motor. KJ Henry ain't had 4 sacks last year. KJ Henry, Efe Obada can get to the quarterback. So Efe Obada's last time seeing significant snaps in Washington, he had 4 sacks and 24 tackles, 5.5 sacks in Carolina, 3.5 sacks in Buffalo. Nope, better than KJ Henry. That was a fun conversation, though. Crazy to think our wide receivers haven't really dropped the pass from JD5. He throws a very catchable ball. KJ Henry had 4 teams last year. What does that mean? KJ Henry was a rookie last year, but Efe Obada is better than KJ Henry. Not that that's really an argument that I really even care to elaborate on because neither of those guys are world beaters, but Efe Obada is a proven depth pass rusher in this league. KJ Henry is just really getting on an active roster and on his 3rd NFL team in 2 seasons. So I don't really think there's much of an argument there. We have a kicker as well, another weapon. Austin Seibert is on pace to make a Pro Bowl right now. Crazy, we're talking about a kicker who might make a Pro Bowl in the same year. We already had to move on from 4 different kickers. Feels beautiful, right? Feels beautiful. Just watched a podcast from a Cleveland fan, and they are nervous about Jayden Daniels. I love that. Gold pants again official? It's official? We love it here. That's how the burgundy jerseys only need to be worn with gold pants. The white pants don't hit the same as it. We're back in them. We're back in them this week. Hell yeah. Love to see that. Let me see if I can pull that up on the app. Back in the burgundy and gold on Sunday. We love that. Yes, sir. Jersey combo for Sunday. Yes, sir. They got my boy Biotish on that joint. That is such a funny fucking picture. That's the picture they decided to go with for this. Oh, man. Shout out to the big uglies up front. Shout out to the big uglies, man. Look at this shit. We back in burgundy and gold this week. My man is hitting a lunge with the ball. That is what I want my O-lineman to look like. Have y'all seen Nick Allegretti and Tyler Biotish in the face? They're ugly as shit. They look like ogres, big Shrek-looking motherfuckers. Look like they just got rolling through the mud or something. That's what I want my O-lineman to look like. Nick Gates, I remember Jayden called this out in the group chat early. He was like, Nick Gates not going to be good because he got too much swag to be a center. He was like, that boy he has like rapper swag. I don't like that as a center. Only the Pouncies can pull that off. Nick Gate was pulling up with Rude and Chrome Hearts clothes on and shit. This is what I want my offensive line to look like. Looking like they could smash a pile of flapjacks by themselves. Looking like they just got business. They look like they about to drive a Jeep with the doors off it and go on an excursion in the woods. Look like they about to go hunting together. That's what I want my offensive linemen to look like. Big, nasty, ugly, what they call them, hog mollies. That's what I want my offensive linemen to look like. They have balled the hell out. Let's go. Them boys eating 10,000 calories a day. That's what I want my offensive linemen to look like. I don't want him to have style. Trent is an exception. Trent Williams has a rapper swag at left tackle. It's something you're not really, it's not something that you see on a usual basis. But man, like Tony said, big ups to the coaching staff. Hell of a job by Dan Quinn assembling a staff. We might have been saved from ourselves and avoiding the Ben Johnson situation as much as we wanted him. I'm not sure Ben Johnson puts together the staff or gets Anthony Lynn over here, the Donatells, Jason Simmons, Ken Norton Jr., Bobby Ingram still here. Brings over Brian Johnson, Tavita Pritchard remains. Like, Cliff Kingsbury, we put together a staff. I'm not sure we're able to do that if Ben Johnson was the coach. Could we still be balling right now? It's possibly, because he's an offensive guru as well, but we hired a leader of men. JD5 got the wind knocked out of him. Not the same as almost getting his ribs broke. Yeah, he definitely got the wind knocked out of him versus the New York Giants. And ever since then, he's been a lot more wiser with getting down and not unnecessarily running for no reason or leaving the pocket too early. Our colors are so sexy, man. That gold pants on that burgundy jersey, that shit is sweet, man. That shit is gorgeous, bro. That is a gorgeous combination. Getting the wind knocked out of you isn't almost getting your ribs broke. Oh yeah, those are two drastically different things. He didn't get remember Tony Romo was out there playing with like a lacerated spleen or some shit. That's some tough shit to play through because you can't even fucking breathe. He didn't get a helmet go to his ribs and made every fan shit their britches. Did he not have to sit out? He came out for one play. No, he didn't have to sit out. He came out one play. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Almost got your ribs broken and sit out. The fuck are you talking about? He came out for one play. A nigga came back and got a first down. The first play he came back in the game. He did not get no ribs broken. He got his wind knocked out of him. If you played football and you ever dove on a fumble before and fell on the point of the football, same concept. That is a very different thing than almost getting your ribs broken. Yep, best-selling jersey in the league, baby. Best-selling jersey in the league. We love to see it. Going through his progressions, he's doing all of it. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, baby. Smash that like button for your boy. We are 2 hours and 30 minutes into a random-ass Friday afternoon stream. That's how good we're feeling on a Friday. We got another game coming up. We are the heavy favorite and most betted on in Vegas game coming into the weekend, and it got a lot of fans feeling scared about it. They don't like it. They don't like feeling like a favorite. They want us to go back to being an underdog. Here's the thing. When you start stacking W's, when you finally got a quarterback, a coach, and an ecosystem that looks like it's capable of thriving, you're going to be picked to be the favorite sometime. Calling it Payne and Allen gets a sack and Forbes gets a pick. I'm here for it. The law firm is now open on Sundays. Allen and Payne, they're back as of last week. Let's hope the ball keeps rolling in that aspect. Browns have the dog pound. The Commanders have the hog pen. I don't know if that's some fly shit, but I'll take it. Our center looked like Brock Lesnar in the face. He do. Big beefy ass Brock Lesnar. That's how I like it though. Interior O-linemen should be ugly. Like Nick, have you seen Nick Allegretti in the face before? Have you seen Nick Allegretti in the face before? That's how I like my O-lineman to look, bro. Hold on, let me find you a picture of what my O-lineman need to look like. Nick Gates was a pretty boy, hair down, belly out and shit. Like, nah, we don't got time for that. I need ugly up front. I need ugly, like objectively ugly. Let me show you what I need on my offensive line. This is what I need my interior offensive lineman to look like. Let me show you exactly what I'm looking for. When I think about O-linemen, this is what I'm looking at. Boom. Example number A. You see this? This is what a guard is supposed to look like. Look at this boy. Look at this man. That is what you want your offensive guards to look like. Just killer. That's a killer. That is a who wants to line up running the ones looking this in the face for a whole game? Look at this guy. Like Sloth from Goonies for real. That is Shrek. That is nightmare fuel right there. That is what I want blocking in the middle opening up holes for my running backs. Nick Gates is out here wearing designer clothes, out here rocking Yeezys and Rude, wearing crop tops to practice with the gut out, with the long locks hanging out his helmet. No, sir. No, sir. This picture definitely screams, don't come my way. This is what I like up front. This is what I fucking like to see right here. I love this shit. Cosme not that ugly, but, you know, Cosme's the pretty boy of the interior line. This is what you want your guys to look like up front. That's why you're seeing a difference this year. Better coaching and big uglies up front. Let's look at Biotish. Biotish looks like someone from the show Vikings in the face. He looks like someone from the Last Kingdom in the face. This is what we needed right here. Let me pull up my boy Biotish next. Let me pull up my guy Biotish. This is what you want them. They big uglies for a reason. You usually you rarely see swag like Trent Williams on the offensive line. You rarely see it. Look at Biotish. Looking like the mountain from Game of Thrones and shit. Look at him. This is what I need to see from my offensive lineman. Look at that. That guy wakes up and eats 17 pancakes for breakfast, goes outside with a flannel on, with cut-off Wranglers or boot-cut jeans, and cuts logs in the morning. Just wakes up and starts cutting trees for no fucking reason. Paul Bunyan, exactly. You get the vibes. Definitely Last Kingdom looking. Look at this big man right. This is a center right here. Fuck Nick Gates. That's what a center looks like right here. That's the energy I need on my offensive line. Look at this shit. We love that. Let me pull up Brandon Coleman next. We having fun on a Friday. I'm streaming for as long as I can because my kiddos come this evening. I got some pre-recorded videos to drop over the next day, but I'm gonna get in all that I can with y'all because I'm on daddy mode all Saturday. I'm all tonight, all Saturday, and until Sunday morning. So let me pull up Brandon Coleman. I remember the first thing we said when we drafted Brandon Coleman was he looked like a thumb. He looked like a big toe in the face. I was like, oh, that's my type of lineman right there. That boy looked like my type of lineman. Let's pull up Brandon Coleman next. You ever seen Spy Kids? And they had them big thumb ass people they was fighting. They looked like the big thumb guys from Spy Kids. I'm a fool, bro. We fooling on a Friday afternoon. We in a good mood. This is what you can do when your team is 3-1 and going for 4-1 for the first time in 16 years. Look at Brandon Coleman, bro. He looked like a big toe with a face on it. This is what a good lineman look like, bro. This is what it looks like, bro. Look at it. This dude played in short shirts in camp. Randall at 11 degrees. I remember Biotish in Wisconsin, and that's my type of guy. Our linemen look like people that go ice water fishing. Just look like they cut a big hole in the ice and dive their big ass in and catch the fish barehanded. Look at these boys, man. Let's go. Remember on Spy Kids? They had the little thumb dudes they was fighting. That's what Brandon Coleman looks like, bro. A monster. The thumb men. I try to be, man. Co-parenting gets difficult. I hate not seeing my kids every day, but, you know, I try to do what I can. Them kids keep me going. Those are my pride and joy. Wiley looks like a goo. Oh, yeah, let's pull up Andrew Wiley. We got to finish. We got to run the set. I got to pull up Andrew Wiley next. We fooling with it on a Friday, bro. Let's pull up Andrew Wiley. Let's find out what he looks like. Shout out to Wiley, too, because he's not only having fun, he's playing much better football, and he's getting back to it. Let me find. Yo, looking at linemen faces, I never knew it was this funny, bro. I never knew it was this funny. Andrew Wiley. I love it, bro. The Lions are like that, too. The Lions look very good. The Lions are phenomenal, but we already know the Lions are one of the favorites in the conference. They should have been in the Super Bowl last year, but Dan Campbell got too confident. Look at Wiley. Look at Wiley. He looked like the typical jock. He looks like he was not the number one, but like the number two most popular guy at a frat house. He looks like he wore a varsity jacket in high school and never washed it one time in 2 years. There was probably syrup stains on it, ketchup stains. Nigga probably had tater tots in his pocket at school. Look at this motherfucker, man. He looks like your typical Chad, Brad, Brock. He looks like one of those. Them Cam Red looking boys. I like that reel. That's like that young is called fire. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, man? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up, Cowboys fan Victor? He looks like he lives in the basement waiting for chow. I love the play when Wiley said, you are going to at least get 2 yards on that one running play. I know. I like that. That mic'd up was really good. 8 minutes of just greatness. A good offensive line looks like a big toe with a face on it. You're not going to get this content anywhere else. We got to give Lucas some love too. Yes, sir. Shout out to Cornelius Lucas. Shout out to captain of the wrestling team. Hell yeah. Varsity jacket, no shirt underneath. Just nipples out, tits out, gut out. And that's what a man in peak performance looks like. It looks like this right here. Varsity jacket with the stains on it. A little bit of syrup, a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of hot sauce, a little bit of fish grease on it. Never washed, never went to the cleaners, took it to college with him when he went there. Popular guy. He's the dude doing the hazing for the fraternity initiations. We got to get Cornelius Lucas in on here because he's been a journeyman so far in his career. He's been very essential to Washington's success so far. Let me pull up my boy Luke. You already know what it is with Cosme, and Cosme not ugly, so we don't gotta pull him in on our ugly conversation. Cosme's actually a normal looking offensive lineman. Then we got Cornelius Lucas. Let's figure out what Luke looked like. Let's pull up my man Luke. Let's see what Luke looked like. Let's see Cornelius Lucas. Cornelius Lucas, shout out to him because he's been a journeyman swing tackle. What does Cornelius Lucas look like? We found a good example for what all of our linemen look like. I know what he looked like. He looked like the black Muslim dudes you find in the city that be selling bean pies and shit, walking around calling everybody Ak and shit. That's what he looked like. He looked like he wear a kufi. He looked like he walks around the city of D.C. handing out bean pies and selling newspapers and shit. Shout out to Cornelius Lucas, bro. They said he looks like fat Noah Brown. He do look like Noah Brown. Oh, yeah. Jayden's first touchdown ever going to a lineman. Shout out to Trent Scott. 4-1 looks beautiful right now. It looks phenomenal right now. Kufi for sure. He definitely wears a kufi in the offseason, bro. He looks like the reformed black man that comes out of jail as the Muslim. Why is his neck so long? That is more neck than I ever expected to see on an African on a offensive line. I said an offensive lineman. Neck long as shit. Chris Bosh neck ass. I did not expect him to have this much neck. Black Israelite. Nation of Islam face ass. Don't it feel good being 3-1, y'all? Don't it feel good instead of talking about firing coaches 4 weeks through the season? We're having fun. We're having a good time. He be swimming in the Anacostia. That's what I want my old linemen to look like, though. I want them to look like they would swim in the Anacostia. That is a fucking life-threatening hazard if you touch it. It looks like you might disintegrate if your toe touches the water in the Anacostia. White looks like the late John Candy. He do. Black Messiah, cornhead ass. Browns is my Ohio family. Oldest brother is Freddie's Big Lot in Delaware, Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. Shout out to Ohio. Let me pull up Trent Scott, too, the big Q dog who caught Jayden's first touchdown. Because I really don't even know what he looks like in the face, to be perfectly honest with you. That boy nimble, though. That nimble. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Trent Scott definitely looked like my type of lineman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That definitely looks like my type of lineman. When you see him, you're going to see it as soon as I do. Trent Scott, the type of brother that get a haircut with no shape up. He the type to go, hey, give me a 1-no lineup. Look at Trent Scott. Give me the cut, no lineup, bruh. There is no symmetry to his hairline. That is my type of O-lineman right here. This is my type of offensive lineman. Look at Trent Scott. That is who caught Jayden Daniels' first touchdown of the year. Facial, I mean, his lineup, there's not it just goes straight. It just goes straight. This is like the Power Rangers black kids lineup, bruh. You love to see it. You love to see this type of shit right here. Parsons, if he was 400 pounds. Can I get some milk and cookies? He eats 5 trays of cornbread without butter. He looked like one of my uncles. Trent Scott looks like one of my uncles. He looked like he keep 2 packs of Newport soft pack cigarettes on him at all times. This is what I like to see. This is what I like to see on the offensive line. A bunch of big uglies. And we got one of the top 5 units in the league. Still got his baby hair going. Don't ever line up the beard. We got a line full of uglies. We got let's give Bobby Johnson some love. Let's pull up Bobby Johnson. Let's look at the man who's turned this offensive line around so far. Let's get a look at OG Bobby Johnson. Let me see what he hitting on right now. Bobby Johnson. Yo, Bobby Johnson looks like someone you don't want to fuck with, bro. This looks like a dude you never want to cross. This acorn head ass Bama looks like someone you do not want to trifle with. Bobby Johnson looks like a killer, bro. Bobby Johnson looks like an unhinged. Who wants to mess with that? I see why the O-line hitting different. Look at their coach. Look at their coach. Can I get a number on everything? Someone that's going to hold up the gas station line. Shout out to Joe Jacoby. We got to get him in the Hall of Fame this year. Look at Bobby Johnson, yo. Look at Bobby Johnson. I only wear Birkenstocks and chew tree bark. Yo, Bobby Johnson looks like the uncle whose house you never want to go to. Like he looked like he just gonna get you through he gonna take you through some bullshit. DJ Khaled's murderous cousin. Captain Spaulding. Oh no, Bin Laden security. Y'all crazy, son. Look like Muhammad. He do definitely look like his life got harder after 9/11. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. He looked like he has a hard time going to the airport after 9/11 happened. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Shout out to Bobby Johnson. Shout out to Bobby Johnson, bro. I've been down for 35 years, youngin'. Like shit. That's the interior. That's the instructor that hires your mom at karate class. London be chilling, all smiles after everything he been through. Shout out to London Fletcher. RIP and condolences to the Fletcher family. Lost his wife, and he still keeps it business as usual. That's a strong man on that side. What's with the eyebrows? Good question, but I wouldn't change a thing about this man you're looking at right now, because part of what we're doing right now is because of this guy right here. Because of this guy right here. Who ate the last piece of cake looking at He looks at you and asks you, what do you want? That's Bobby Johnson. Look at this guy. He's serious. You have the old lineman look too. Oh, man. That means I need to get back in this gym. That means I need to get back in this gym. They said I got the thumb face. Fuck no. I got to get back to work. Hey, chill out, cuz. We ain't putting that. Don't put that smut on my old lineman coach's name. Don't put that smut on Bobby Johnson's name. Suge Knight with less melanin. This shit is crazy, bro. Fans ranting and being upset that we traded Jahan Dotson didn't age well. I told y'all he sucked. I wasn't hating on Jahan Dotson. He sucks and he plays soft. That's why we traded him. Old in the face, young in the hair. Shout out to this guy because we all had him fucked up. We were not familiar with his game. We ignored the job he did in Buffalo, and we looked at him for what have you done lately? And in New York, that offensive line was playing like booty juice. Worst offensive line in the league, but it was not because of Bobby Johnson. It was because the personnel. The personnel. Not to mention also their quarterbacks stink. Rio still have baby hair, no gray. Don't jinx me, man. I turned 33 in 10 days. That gray gonna come in, and it's gonna come in real fast. It's gonna come in real fast. Fleece Han Dotson. Dotson missing us right now. Bobby Johnson looks like he will slap you in the mouth just because. He definitely looks like he's giving, you know, when you meet someone and they unnecessarily give you too firm of a handshake. Bobby Johnson definitely trying to break your wrist. Oh, Desert Eagle ass handshake. He looks like his handshake is way too crazy. Still young. I feel still young. Justin Pugh said he was a really good coach. I know he's going to defend his guys, but Justin Pugh on this show definitely said it, and he's played for Bobby Johnson. So I took his word for it. I definitely still feel young. I'm in my prime right now. Justin Pugh right now is not on a roster. He is currently doing a tour of all the NFL stadiums each Thursday night. He's seeing whose fan base is the best. Each week, he's going and vlogging from a different team stadium, and his vlog series has been fucking phenomenal so far. He was in Atlanta last night for that fire-ass Atlanta-Tampa Bay game. He on his content creator journey, but who knows? He may get a call to play football at some point this year. Shout out to my guy, Justin Pugh, by the way. We were just talking last night. Dotson had a legit rookie year. He sure did. So did RG3. How did that turn out for him afterwards? The good and the cream usually rises to the crop after 1 year. 1 year wonders do exist. Ask Millie Vanilli. Bobby Johnson looks like Austin Eckler. Nah, don't do that to Eck. Don't do that to Eck. Looks like he belongs in a slapping. Oh, he do. I'm telling you, he got a mean slap ham on it. Suge Light. Hi, Rio. This will be the toughest D we face so far. Let's get it on. Let's get it in. And this is true. Hear me out, though. We're also the best offense that the Browns have played this year. Our offense right now is better than Dallas's offense. Our offense this year is better than the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. Our offense is better than the New York Giants offense, and our offense is better than the Las Vegas Raiders. The Browns have played the Raiders, the Jags, who are 0-4, the Raiders, the Giants, who are 1-3, and the Dallas Cowboys. Which one of those offenses are lighting the world on fire right now? I think not a single one. You know whose offense is lighting the world on fire right now? This team. So while we're the best, they're the best defense we've seen this year. We're the best offense. So something got to give at some point if we're calling a spade a spade. Most of our staff will interview for jobs soon. I think we're a little bit ahead of schedule for those conversations, but at some point they're going to be, and that means you're doing a good job because good teams, coaching staff get sifted through and poached. People swore up and down the Cardinals were going to light us up. They sure did. Their defense is good, but I like our offense more. I just saw it. He looks like a younger uncle, like Cedric the Entertainer said. I'm your baby uncle. That's who I am. I can see it. Kingsbury, I'm not worried about that right now. It's week 4 of the season. I'm not worried about none of our coaches leaving. I'm keeping my feet where they are right now, and that is week 5 of the 2024 NFL season. We'll talk about that shit when it gets there. You said in your video that it's going to come down to us outscoring the Browns and us stopping them. We need to stop them. We need to get this. We need to get off to the races like a track meet because I don't think their offense can keep up with the sprint that our offense can put out. So if we put some points up early, like Chef Zay said on the channel when we did the preview, they may not be able to keep up with it. So Uncle Phil like shit. Uncle Phil, but instead of working for the law or working for the judicial system, Uncle Phil that owns a hookah bar. That's Bobby Johnson. He looked like he'll sell you some mean shisha. He looked like he'll tell you exactly how many coals to throw on that motherfucker. He looks like your Uber driver. with all the talk about JD5, people aren't pointing out how improved the O-line is. We just spent the last 45 minutes talking about the offensive line. So a lot of people may not be doing it. We're giving the O-line all the love over here on this channel because that O-line is the catalyst to why this machine is moving right now. So we definitely giving props and due diligence to our offensive line. He looked like Tiki Barber and a full metal and a beard. I think it'll be an ugly game like the Giants game, but it's a 17-13. I don't care how it looks. We're going to win this game on Sunday. Just come out. He looks like the henchman that snitched on the whole crew and plays the, I don't know what y'all talking about. It wasn't me. I promise it wasn't me. I'm the most loyal in the crew, head ass. He does look like someone's in Fortnite would end up animating into a character. Oh, man, I had a good time with y'all on this one, man. We're going to go for a few minutes. I guess we're going to hit it just at 3 hours on the dot, and then we can get up out of here. Throw your score predictions in this thing real quick. Definitely looks like the wrestling coach, former wrestling captain, Insano. He just looks like big bouncer energy at a biker's bar for sure. I can see him with a bandana tied around his head and a leather vest on. I could definitely see it. Like, he definitely looks like he was an op of the Sons of Anarchy. Turns our weakest link O-line into an actual strength. Shout out OG Bobby Johnson, baby. Shout out OG Bobby Johnson. I hope he do, because he's collecting awards on a ridiculous slate right now. All the awards. And Neighbors is out this week, so all he got to do is have another decent game, and he should be the rookie of the week again. They might have to start getting voters fatigue and saying, we can't keep letting this guy win rookie of the week. I believe C.J. Stroud only won rookie of the week once or twice last year, which is interesting because he had such a – he looks like he'd call you real ID fake. He looks like he'd call you real ID. This ain't no real ID. This shit fake. I can't let you in the club. Lets the next woman that walks by into the club. It looks like the Giants fucked up. Oh, yeah. That face does say y'all got me. The New York had me fucked up. This the dude from Sons of Anarchy who killed Opie. Oh, man. Opie. Shout out my boy. Opie had the darkest, most sad, undeserving story in Sons of Anarchy. They did Opie so foul in that show. My God, what they did to his wife and then what they did to him. Lord, Lord, Lord. Fuck Clay. Clay made me so. Clay and Gemma, ops for life. Watson ain't no punk. Fuck Deshaun Watson. Watson is a punk. Watson sucks. We can't lose to this quarterback this weekend. Worst quarterback we've played this season. And yes, that's including Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is playing better football than Deshaun Watson right now. You can't lose to him. Watson is a punk. Fuck Deshaun Watson. Can't lose to this guy. You can't lose to this guy. Opie was definitely a G. Wasn't Opie old boy from Remember the Titans that got fucked up in the car accident? That was Opie, right? Clay and Gemma, man. Clay and Gemma. Her name was Gemma, right? Oh, my God. Worst people ever. Yeah, fuck a Watson in your Diddy voice. Daniel Jones does one thing well, the hard count. That's what does Deshaun Watson do well in 2024? I'll wait. We got to get it in, man. We got it in. Get to the gym, be funny, and fix your teeth if need be. Confidence is key for real. I hear that. I hear that. But before you even do all that, have confidence regardless. Rio, you know why we good now? Because we actually have a fucking plan. Ron's plan was to just hope for the best or don't lose and then cross his arms on the sideline. I feel this in my soul. There's a plan. There's a vision, there's foresight, and no matter what happens, positive or negative, they don't let the plan, they don't deviate from the plan. They're going to keep at it. Keeps the massage industry purring. So he is good. There we go. The massage industry is never going under while there's a Deshaun Watson living on this earth. Complain and get massages. That's about it. Who at the game this weekend? I'll be on the channel all day going live. You know how we do. Ron was game planning each week by ChatGPT suggestion. It feels like he drafted and played Ask Madden every week on Sundays with his coordinator. Shout out Ronald Eugene. We wouldn't be here without him. Shout out to him for life, for being ass. Happily apply baby oil liberally. That's what he does well. Forbes pick this week. Why not this week? Watson stinks and he's going to put the ball in harm's way. You're going to buy a JD5 jersey. If not, what would constitute you buy? No, I'm going to get one. I probably get one for my birthday in 10 days. I probably get one for my birthday. If them blacks don't sell out at the stadium, I'm probably have my boy pick up one of them things for me. Shout out Robert Kraft. Shout out to Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft, handshake emoji, Deshaun Watson acting up at the massage parlor. Put them in a meme together. O-line is turned up. JD5 is figuring things out, and we getting after it. If the defense continues to trend up, we're going to win this game on Sunday. The all-black jersey goes crazy on Jayden. Yeah, Jayden, that shit looks different. Everything look good when your quarterback got aura, swagger, and he's not corny. Love it, man. What's good, Reggie Reg? We about to sign off this one, man. We're going to hit this 3-hour mark. We're going to get out of here. For those who just came in, smash that like button. We rocking it out. I didn't plan to even do this stream today. They announced the captains and the injury report. Y'all pulled up, and we've been vibing ever since about 12:45. We decided to go for 3 hours on a random Friday afternoon. This shit is crazy. They said Rio with the Shannon Sharp take. With the Shannon Sharp take. Don't do me like that. Don't call me Uncle Shay Shay. But to close this one out, just like we started it, Jayden Daniels, Dorrance Armstrong, and Jeremy Chin will be your captains this week. Jayden on the offensive side of the ball, Dorrance Armstrong on the defensive side of the ball, Jeremy Chin for special teams, but he's also our improving starting safety right now. And our injury report, Austin Ekeler is back. B-Rob's a game-time decision, but he tells us he's good to go, as he put the thumbs up on Twitter, and as he told B. Mitch and Finley on their radio show yesterday. Noah Brown is out. Cleveland Farrell is out, and we're waiting to hear. It's going to be a weekend decision whether Jordan McGee, Marcus Mariota, and F.A. Obata are activated to play this week. Let's get us a dub, and let's get to 4-1 for the first time in 16 years since 2008. Smash that like button on the way out if you haven't done it yet. I like our chances. I'm going 30-20 Washington Commanders this weekend at home against the Cleveland Browns. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy on a Friday afternoon. I'll probably get some pre-recorded videos out unless some big breaking news happen. If something significant comes out, I may pop back on here and do another live, but that's all I got for right now. Thank you for rocking with your boy on a Friday afternoon. Enjoy y'all weekend. I'm going to be on daddy mode for the next couple of days. Appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you pull up this Sunday for the watch party. We're going to be going live through the whole game and doing the post-game show afterwards. You know how we do. If we dog them, if we go crazy on Sunday, we're probably going to hate watch and do a watch party for the Cowboys game at night as well. Let's get to it. Thank y'all for rocking with your boy. Hail to the Washington Commanders, football team, Redskins, whatever you want to call us. Call us first place in the NFC East, and I hope it goes forward after